You're live.
We're live.
Oh, there we go.
Yay!
Good. This looks good. Hooray!
Okay.
Oh, good job.
Is this working? I think it's working.
I think before we had to wait for people to
Assuming
hop
that
on.
people are coming. Okay, well maybe we'll start by introducing ourselves. Should we do the introduction? Oh
Yes.
God, this is being recorded. Hello.
I'm assuming everyone here has been exposed to us as we shout over the dogs.
So welcome.
Yes, welcome.
This is
Another kind of-
live episode, a little bit different from our regular Knitting a Good Yarn podcast. My name's Jackie,
Carmen.
and we are here to do a spin and chat.
Yes. Oh, hi,
People.
Jacqueline.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Robin, hi. Yes. So
Hi, Laura. Oh, look, people are showing up. This is so lovely.
Amazing. We probably don't have to go too much into this. I'm assuming we,
Where do we go?
what just
Oh
happened?
God.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
Yay, we're back.
I don't know if we're still
I don't know
there.
what happened.
We are doing a spin along today to spin with you a speed date that Melly from Melly Knits created. Very briefly, Melly's been doing these speed dates where you've got one fiber, one fleece that she then combines with 5 other fleeces, 50-50, so that you can see like what that one fleece, you have one fleece you get to have 100% of, so you get a sense of like what that fleece is like. And then it gets combined with 5 other fibers, 50-50, and you get to see how the differences are in the fiber in the spins. Jackie and I as therapists, as we were doing this, and new spinners, not knowing a lot about all the fiber stuff
And breeds.
and all of this, we, as we were doing it, started thinking about these fibers, these batlings, as like different people. And so we were laughing at like if they were really on speed dates, what would it be like? Like what would each fleece be like together with the first fleece that we're working with? Kind of like that's the bachelor or the bachelorette. Who do they end up being, love connections with? And we do want to say we're doing this on the idea of these as people, not as like whether the fibers are good together. We'll talk about that because that will inform whether we think the people would get along together, but it may be the case that we don't think that the relationship would be good, but the actual spinning is wonderful and enjoyable.
So this was the way that Carmen and I talked to each other about the spin, because basically we got the same speed date and we were like, let's spin it together and like let's compare notes. And so we ended up down the rabbit hole of it. And if this is your first time here, this is our second time that we're doing this sort of speed date matchmakers breed study. So you can check that out, whether you are a knitter or a spinner or a maker, or maybe thinking about spinning. Like, welcome, we're so glad that you're here. And what's so exciting about this episode for me is a couple of things. One is that it's Tour de Fleece. So
Yes.
we have been, we've both been spinning, I'm going to say way more than I normally would. My like knitting to spinning ratio has definitely shifted because I've been like spinfluenced by all the like spinning content that's coming through. So we get to spin together. And then the other thing that happened was that we talked to Melly after the last speed date that we did, and we were like, how fun would it be if we could do if it wasn't just the two of us with these particular speed dates? And so I think that there are some people out there, because Melly did like a mega speed date. Some of you, whether you're here live or whether you're tuning in later, I think you might have the same speed date.
We've got a few people I know for sure.
So we were hoping that you guys would hop into the chat. If you might spin it with us, you might have already spun it, and maybe you can weigh in on the relationship evaluation, the relationship gossip.
Yes.
And we also got Melly to weigh in on what relationship she, as the maker, thinks is
Would
like
predict.
the best relationship, the best like combination.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. Carmen doesn't know what that is. She sent us an email with like a lot of blank space and a lot of like random text. And at the end of our spin along, we'll open that email and see and get what Melly's opinion is also.
But she did, as a caveat, she did say that she has not actually spun. She sold all the speed dates. So she doesn't know how it is in terms of them together, spinning together. She's talking about kind of how they felt as she was making the bats, which will be very interesting, right? Like in terms of like what we're thinking and what she's thinking, whether there's any differences there.
So we're gonna try and do a little bit of like talking and spinning, and then taking pauses to kind of look at the chat, which I'm gonna do right now.
I know,
Hello.
We've got lots
Look
of
at all these
stash dashers
comments.
here. So Melly's Tour de Fleece group is the stash dashers, and we've got 6, I think, echelons.
Oh my gosh,
in there.
hello,
I
stash
love
dashers.
this.
Hello.
Love it.
So for those of you who are here live, I can see that there are a couple people who actually are saying that they have the same speed date. So what we were also hoping in doing this live and like having the live chat going is that you guys could meet each other. And maybe, because this is actually how Carmen and I met, is that we were on like a live knitting thing and met each other through the chat. So if you're here, if you're live and you're open to it, maybe just drop in like where you're tuning in from and what you're like spinning, or if you're here just to do the goss and you're not actually spinning like what you're knitting right now. And then maybe you guys can find each other and see if there's anybody who's like from the town that you're in, or who might be knitting or spinning a similar thing. And yeah.
Love it. And we are going to give away prizes. So we've got we're going to do 2 prizes. One is going to be for people who are here with us today live. So at the end, we will do a little finagling thing and you'll type something in, and then we'll be able to draw something for some, we're doing fiber for that. So some beautiful fiber from Hunter Ock Air. Actually, I'll show it to you. Oh, so it's this huge bat of, it's 200 grams of beautiful Swedish wool. Oh God.
Beautiful.
You're just going to want to do this. You're going to want to do that all day long before you spin it. So that's something we're going to, oh wait, are we giving this one away as the, well,
Yeah,
anyway,
we are.
one of them. We're giving this away for the live people. And then we're going for those who are not able to catch.
Yeah, so we have a selection of fiber, and we haven't actually discussed what we're giving away yet. So we'll of the fiber what we're going to be giving away. And then for those of you who aren't able to be, for the people who aren't able to be here live, who are tuning in later, we're also going to draw a winner from the comments. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can enter to get some fiber or potentially some hand spun at the end of our spin along. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many people here from
Sudbury. We got
Vancouver,
Iceland,
Mississauga, Southern Ontario,
California.
And we've got a bunch of bond spinners.
And Jacqueline from Mississauga.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I love this. This is so fun.
So fun. Okay. So, Carmen and I, we actually did spin.
Yes. One of them.
Mr. Bond. So we spun the we're going to call him the Bachelor. We didn't actually. Yeah. So we don't actually have information about this fleece.
That's right.
We know that it came from Australia, from the shepherd that Melly has been sourcing all of her bond fleeces from. Bond being Australian breed, although I think that there's bonds elsewhere. They just originated or got started, created, bred. Oh God, this is why we don't actually talk about the breeds. In Australia.
We'll stumble through this for a second, then we'll get into the other stuff.
But that's basically all we know, right? He doesn't really have a backstory. But what was interesting is we didn't talk. We both spun the fleece separately. There's a lock.
This is a lock of him. So you can see the crimp structure. I mean, I'm talking with these words that I don't really know, but I know it's called crimp structure. No, I don't know. It's got crimp.
The wavy thing.
See, and it's so...
Like 90s beach waves.
It is.
Except, or like the crimply fry.
Like the crimp. Remember the crimpers?
The crimper. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely. So what was interesting is that both you and I decided that he was masculine.
Yep.
That it
a lot
was
of masculine energy.
We've decided
For
maybe
us.
You think differently, that that this is our Bachelor and his name is Mr. Bond. So Who do you think Mr. Bond is? What do you think his story is?
Okay. So
Who is Mr. Bond?
who is Mr. Bond? Well, let me show you. First of all, we talked a little bit about this, but the difference in the color that happens. So you see this one. This is what I was expecting. This is how it all plies up. Darker.
So is that, did you do his 2-ply? Is that a single?
Just
or
a,
a
yeah,
2-ply?
just a 2-ply. Yep. So, and I want to say I spun this outside, and the reason I'm going to say this, so Jackie had spun hers and she posted on Instagram, and I was like, the scientists we are, I'm like, well, I should spin it in the same kind of environment because we can't have too many variables going on here. So anyway, I spun it outside, and the reason I say that is I think that influenced me in terms of what I could see for Mr. Bond. So when I first pulled him out, I looked at him and he was very, very like soft, and I'm like classy. And I had this whole idea of Bond, James Bond. So I was assuming,
Yeah, it's kind of impossible to not make that association.
at least at first. Well, that was what I was expecting. And then as I was spinning, I'm like, oh no, he is not.
He's not Mr.
Bond.
Bond.
Oh God, he is. I'm literally spinning, and I'm probably influenced by the Australian, but all I could get was this Australian outback cowboy.
Interesting.
Because he was very smooth, but also hairy. And this, because I was outside, well, I was outside, I was able to see all the hair.
hairy equals cowboy.
Doesn't it? Smooth character, but like, furry. And he was just very cool and collected and aloof.
Aloof.
I felt like he was kind of a, lonesome. What is it? Lonesome cowboy? Lonesome
ranger.
Lonesome ranger.
we know less about cowboys.
Like, I was gonna sing that rhinestone cowboy. Then I was like, it's not lonesome cowboy. Anyway, he was rugged, but like smooth, but with a bite like whiskey. I was like, there's whiskey. He's like a whiskey.
Yes.
Bearded, but really handsome outback. Cowboy. What did you think?
Okay, so I feel like I went on a date with Mr. Bond.
Like, hey, Jackie, he's mine.
No, he's mine.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
For all of you, he's mine. All of these wonderful speed dates, I'm just going to say off. I've fallen in love. I'm entire, like, so.
You've fallen in love.
I've fallen in love.
Yeah.
It was like maybe it was a little of the ambiance. Right? Like it's Sunday night, it was raining, it was like that, and it had been so hot, and finally like the rain came down, and I'm like on the deck with the like awning over, and I'm like, if I drank a glass of wine
if
Mr.
she was
Bond,
ever gonna drink, it was gonna be with Mr. Bond.
With Mr. Bond. And I like within 2 seconds just like fell in love.
I can imagine why.
Because
the long draw, long staple.
He was so slick. Like the images that were coming to mind is like I did sort of get that outback feel. So when I had already decided that he was Australian, and then like the moment I started spinning, it just was like smooth and like round and like full bodied in the way that an Australian accent is. So I'm like, okay, so he's Australian,
true, definitely.
But I was getting these like like tobacco and whiskey and like this guy's a library. Like a library with like old leather chairs.
Oh, an old library.
Like, so I think he's a little less like outdoorsy.
Okay.
My read was that he was a little less outdoorsy, like on the balance of who he is. He is outdoorsy, but he also like has that like elegant sophistication and will like, knows his whiskey and like can drink whiskey out of the bottle, but also he could 100%. Take you inside and be like, let me get you the glass. Let me get you the glass, and like with the whiskey stones, like there was like a refinedness to him.
Yes.
But I also think that he could turn around and behind his beautifully kept house with the library and the wine cellar is also his like stable, and he's got his horses, and he can just like get on his horse and go out and do whatever it is that cowboys do.
So if anyone here is an author as well as spinner, I feel like this is the character. Write a romance novel and it's Mr. Bond. Like, this guy, he sounds perfect.
He's perfect.
Oh,
To me, he's perfect, and it's that perfect like soft. But I could see in the chat a couple of people made the comment that like there's this like it's not like merino.
it's not
But
merino.
like it's like soft and like so smooth. But there's a little
There's some
something
grip. There's
something.
something that you're like maybe it's like a chest hair thing, like a, you know, where you're like, I like
just a little bit, 2 buttons undone. Yeah.
Sorry, people. Jeez. Let's see what
we absolutely love. So we love Mr. Bond.
Melly's here, yay! You remember Melly in the chat. Oh, okay. So Amy B loved how he spun up.
Smoking a cigar. I love that some
Yes,
of you are like feeling the same deal. And if you don't have a speed date, just like imagine what it would be like to have this like delightful fiber.
Yes.
So I am
Lone
going
wolf,
to
Danielle. Yes. I feel there is. So for me, I don't see
there
him
is
in
lone
a
wolf.
nice. I don't think. Well, his house is amazing to me, but it's like a ranch. And it's like big with like logs and low lighting and fire, but lots of leather. So I really get that like library thing. And he's like really smart. Like
and he has
smart.
like depth.
Yes.
You know, like this is not the outback cowboy who's just like drinking cowboy coffee and like,
oh gosh,
you know,
no, but he can because you know,
he can. I do think this like lone wolf, lone ranger thing is true though.
Yes.
In the sense that like, I don't think he's throwing parties at his house.
No.
I think that like he's discerning about who he lets in, and then the people who he lets in, he like, you know.
Yeah. And I also think,
please, Mr. Bond, let me in.
Jackie's a good choice.
With him.
Sorry.
If there was one fiber that I was going to spin forever,
this might be it. I mean, it really, so Jackie is a huge long wool lover. So when I was spinning this, I'm like, oh yeah, Jackie's good at this is all. I mean, and it was so smooth. So a lot of times they're little, like you might get little bumps and things like just, you know, normal little neps or whatever. Nothing. I don't know if you can see it. It's just.
So here's what I am going to say before I even go into all of these delicious things.
Oh, Clint Eastwood, yes.
I don't know that Mr. Bond needs a partner.
I was going to say, I don't think he needs a partner, but I think a partner will enhance his life. It has to be a very, very good fit.
Right.
If he never meets that person in this lifetime, he's fine. But I think there are ways that he is alone that like there could be someone who's enough like him or compliments him that he may find that life is just that little bit sweeter because he's on his own all the time. And he's distant, even from friends.
Yeah, I get that. I just feel like it can't get better than what I've already said.
Yes, he does not need anyone else.
I don't know.
Fair.
I don't think he needs anybody else. And like, I'm like, you know, a fling, like one of those relationships where you don't move in together, where you don't like commit long term.
Sure.
Like, I feel like, fine. Like, I'll see how he plays with Alpaca. I'm open to seeing how he plays with like Gotland and Merino and these different things. But for me,
only you.
I just want him to be him. And I will marry him and love him from afar.
You're like, I can't move in. Oh, somebody, was it in here or earlier? I think I got a message about somebody had spun it. Oh, it was Jacqueline, I think, right? And you were like, how about a big orgy or like an open relationship? And I'm like, I feel like there's probably that kind of, like, I don't know if he's going to find one. Okay. I feel like this is a reverse of Mr. B, even though I would never have dated Mr. B.
It is.
Like our previous one, I love Shetland, so I was already like, nobody's gonna be good enough for him.
Well, that's why I was like, Melly, I don't know if you planned this. I don't know if you planned this when you picked the fleece, but it was like, we did Mr. B first, and that's like Carmen's dream fiber, forever fiber. And then I don't know if you just like predicted that you were gonna give me the fleece that I was like, he is mine and nobody can have it.
I think Jackie may steal my thing. Like, I'm gonna have to look for this after because there's so little.
So we're gonna start spinning soon.
Okay,
20 minutes.
But I do want to just.
I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question first, and then
But-
look at the chat. Oh no,
Yeah.
let's look at the
Should we
chat.
just look really quickly? Because I just want to see other people are saying really funny things.
So for those of you
Let's
who
see.
are watching it on recording, we turned it on so that like the chat will like populate
And be kept.
and be kept so that you can actually
So
see what's in the
steamy.
chat. So we're gonna try not to read every single comment.
Yes.
out
He has
loud.
strength, but a little rigidity. I like it. I want to meet this guy and have whiskey with him, Sarah Jane. Oh my God. Oh, Miss Q. I wonder. Oh, he's saying Miss Q, or Sarah Jane's saying Miss Q might have been a good match,
Miss
but she's not
Q.
here.
Must have been another Melly Fleece. I love that there are people in here who are matchmaking Mr. Bond with previous fleeces
This is what I'm
that
saying.
they've been spinning.
And then
That's
there's Melly
so
going,
amazing.
I'll get Miss Q again. And then like maybe we can put them back and we can actually do it. Melly makes things happen, people. All you have to do is say, I wonder if this, and then she's like, done.
Maybe I have that.
I got it.
Okay, I just want to, so
Yes, so
before
do
we
your
like go
question.
in, I want to ask you a question because when you posted, I could tell that you were into him, but you made a comment and you also made it again just now in which you were saying something about like, but he's like something's missing or he could use as something. So like, what is it that you think Mr. Bond could use, could need, like what was missing
Fiber,
that
what?
may be in here in his little
Oh,
lineup?
that's a great question. Okay, so I feel Mr. Bond, you are correct. Perfectly perfect as he is. If he's never with anyone else, then fine. But he's just this little bit of sadness, loneliness. I know, I think he is just a little bit, which is not a bad thing. I mean, some people just want to be. There's a sweetness in loneliness. Some people like that, like a melancholy kind of sweet sadness. But I think there would be something that, and I don't know what it is. It's almost like maybe something a little on the softer edge, or something that
I think
like
he needs to be softer.
not softer than him because he's soft, but something, I don't know what it is. I
don't
just
know.
am like,
There's
I
a
feel
missing
like there's something
ingredient.
where I'm like, oh, this person
Personality-wise,
fits.
he needs a shower.
He does, except his original like natural musk is like, right.
So it was a leading question. I asked the question
You had an answer.
because after I was done spinning my paltry 25 grams, I was just like, I need more of him. I can't stop working with him. And so I applied it, finished it, and then knit.
She did. Of course she did.
And so it was a good like experience because as a spun fiber, I'm like, he's perfect.
Yes.
I need nothing more.
Yes.
I would spin this forever. And then I started to knit him and I was like, oh, I do think he needs something.
What? Like a structure or something?
So I'm gonna let you feel this. In a little
Oh, look
mitten.
at you. Of course you made a mitten so
I
you
made-
could have him
Yeah,
right
so I
in your
could have
hands
him
all the
right
time
next to
and
me.
just go,
If I had more than 25 grams, remember when you knit that bralette? I would knit a bralette out of
you
Mr.
have
Bond
more than
basically.
you can
so that I
have
can
mine,
thank you.
Jackie. I won't keep him from you.
So
Okay. Oh God, people. Oh, people. Oh, look. Okay, maybe I just gave it away. Maybe I'm taking it right back.
does he need anything?
Oh God, Jackie. See, now I'm like,
Oh,
does he
now
need anything?
now you think he's perfect.
He's a little. He has like a drape to it. Like it feels a little bit missing of something, a little thin. Like something could fill him out just a little bit because it's so beautiful. But something that would just fill him out a little bit.
like it's
Some-
like he needs some strength or something.
Yeah, it feels strong.
like
just
I want to
not
hold him with
filled
mohair.
out. Do you? Yeah, or something
Just
juicy
like,
to me, like
ugh.
something that's a little bit more like. I mean, he would reject a like big hug, but like
Yeah.
I think he needs like I'm even almost thinking now like a down breed that has such like, but that might be too much for him. But like something that has more like enveloping, filling in the spaces. See, he's just got a little bit of spaces. I'm literally stretching my hand really wide, and there's hardly any spaces. But he just has a little.
Alpaca.
Yeah, I'm keeping this the whole time. I'm not
Like
taking
he's
this off.
soft. Like he's so soft. Like knit up. He's like a merino that I rarely knit with anything other than Newton. However, I did knit one merino sweater once, And one, it pilled like a mofo.
Yeah.
And two, I was like, it just was like really vanilla. And I love vanilla, okay? Like I love
very
gray.
anti-merino. Do we have merino?
I'm not anti-merino. I might be anti-merino. I'm anti-merino.
In the chat, does anybody else have the sense that Jackie pretends she likes merino, but when she actually talks about it, it's like, no.
Merino, like, because I think I should like merino because I love soft and I love like the colors that you can get on merino because a white merino like leans cool. But every single time I interact with merino, I'm like, and I get a little bit of that from Mr. Bond. Knit up. Like I just think I want to like
a little grippier something. Okay.
Or like, you know, when you buy a leather bag and it doesn't have any, like it's like the grain is there, but it's like
it hasn't been worn in.
It doesn't have that like
supple.
Yes. Like I feel like he needs to be worn in.
But in some ways, you think he's too supple, almost like you need something that gives a little bit more of a like.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect.
It is.
He is perfect.
Like if you can get your hands on 100% bond probably from Melly though, because I don't know we can't speak to other bonds, but like do it. You'll be happy. But maybe there'll be one thing that'll be better.
So I'm open to it. Like I'm open to the possibility that although I do think that he's perfect, after I knit him, I agree
something
that a little something could add to his life. Beautiful. Like I think he could be perfectly happy on his own with his like horses and his like intellectual interests and like all of his great friends and deep conversation and his books and his whiskey. Like he could be perfectly happy.
Yes.
But you're right.
It could be just slightly better. Just
like
give
him a little flavor. Give him like, you know, like a leather bag that gets a scratch on it, you know, like he needs a little scratch and needs a little like, what's it called? Patina. Like he needs a little patina.
It's so funny. My image of him has so much patina. It has some kind of like, there's something else but you're right. We're both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And can I just say, wearing this. So first of all, I feel like we have very different sized hands, but that fit me perfectly.
Really?
Yes. It felt like it fit perfectly.
It does have quite a bit of stretch in it. Hey,
it's just beautiful. And I feel so warm and protected. Like Mr. Bond is like, he's just a cowboy. He's just gonna like take care.
Yeah. He's like the perfect saddle.
If you can get him, once you like lasso him, he's yours.
Okay. All right. Well,
ladies.
let's see.
Okay.
Let's see who we have.
Okay.
Let's see. So
this, by the way, this is my prediction. I shouldn't even be predicting, but I'm like, I don't think of alpaca.
You don't think? Okay. So we did ask Melly the sommelier, the wool genius.
Goddess.
We asked, we're like, what order? Because when I look at this combo of the dates that Mr. Bond is going on, it's not as clear as some of the other dates. You know, some of the other dates, like speed date combos that Melly has put together, it's like, you know, the bachelor, the single sheep plus like a long wool, the single sheep plus a down wool, a single sheep plus the single sheep plus like a primitive breed. Like it was very, it was almost like breed categories.
Yeah.
But this one's a little different. / I don't know anything about it.
We have a long wool. I thought we did have something.
We have
a fine wool with the merino. We have Mushu is that a down? Thin Arcott. Oh, Arcott's that's a Canadian one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. What's your point?
No, I don't know. My point is that my point was that so Melly suggested an order for us. So we're going by the Melly order. If you're spinning with us, please feel free to spin in the order that you wish or to spin along with us. But what do you think?
Hold on, I just want to make sure strand about Surrey would be good. Merino's overrated. Oh yeah, Rambouillet.
Have I tried spinning Rambouillet? I have not spun Rambouillet.
I don't know if you're gonna like Rambouillet. I liked it, but it's very who knows? It's very marshmallowy. Okay. I love it.
Let us know in the chat. What do you think?
And if anybody,
what's your prediction on alpaca?
I have no reason to say that. And to be honest, our last one, not to spoil it if you're going to go back and watch our last episode, but it was the alpaca with the Shetland. That was really So good.
Yeah.
That was our favorite. But
So this alpaca comes from Sunkea Farm in Oliver, BC. So Canadian grown alpaca.
ooh,
What do you think? What do you think? Alpaca plus Mr. Bond plus our sophisticated cowboy.
Our sophisticated whiskey loving
Whiskey drinking.
loner. I like that lone wolf. Lone wolf works. Okay. Oh yes.
Melly, I did get your email. And we haven't looked at it. We didn't spoil
we're
it.
not looking at anything.
Ooh.
This is beautiful
Ooh.
and soft. It's so soft. Like, where is he gonna be?
Here's my
in
prediction
this?
on this relationship. They're the couple. Like, I feel like alpaca's really like, I feel like this alpaca is kind of like him. Like, they're really similar.
Rugged?
Not rugged.
Okay.
But in that softness, in that sort of like supple, soft, like introvertedness. And so I feel like this is a couple that is like a little too similar. This is my prediction, like a little too similar. And if they got together, they would just do all the same things with each other in his little compound.
Themselves.
You know, like I don't see this alpaca like broadening his world. I see them like basically staying at home, drinking whiskey together.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and like
I feel like that's
together
gonna be his
and,
ideal.
Like, doing all the things.
Okay,
together.
so really now you're saying this is the perfect match in my eyes because I don't think he wants anything. I think they just need to, I don't know why there's feminine energy I'm getting from this alpaca.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a softness, but it feels, so to me, well, we should spin it first, but just even feeling it, it feels like this is really elegant. And because my picture of Mr. Bond is different, like he's not elegant in my picture. Elegance fits yours because you have this like.
He's not like, he doesn't look elegant though. It's just he has elegant taste.
Because I think she's quite elegant.
Yeah, she is.
And I don't think that's going to match really well. She's not going to want to live on the ranch.
No.
She'll say she does.
You don't think that she's like a Bond girl? It's so
Is
funny.
she a Bond girl?
Is she a Bond girl?
No. I don't think she's a Bond girl.
No. Okay.
All right, let's see.
All right.
Let's see, folks.
Here we go.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Oh, I need a bobbin.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm like,
That's all right.
missing.
I'll get us going. Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Does alpaca actually not go with anything always scrumptious?
That's
That's a good point.
That is a very good
It's a
point.
very good point.
Okay, so you're right. She is super smooth too. Like, oh, hey, it was such a good idea for me to wear black. I'll just have to tell you what it looks like. So the hairiness is still there.
Hairiness. Still got his chest hair. She doesn't make him wax.
Yeah. Well, anybody who makes him wax, I'd be like, you're out. That beautiful hair has to stay. Run my hand through it.
I don't want him to lose his his ruggedness.
He can't. That's what I mean. What I'm worried about is whether she's too. I don't want to say sophisticated because it's not quite right, but like that she likes the like.
What is it about alpaca that I also kind of feel like is extra sophisticated and bougie?
Well, because it's super soft and drapey, like you just want to wrap it around your neck like a stole. Maybe it's like it's a fur or something. Maybe that's why. Like it feels.
It's funny. Do you ever, like, when you think about fiber, do you think about the fiber animal or do you think about the actual fiber? Because I, like, I feel the fiber and I'm like, oh, it's so luxurious.
Fiber.
But then have you ever seen them?
I was just going to say, alpacas are not very classy. No.
Like, when I see an alpaca, they're so cute. I love them so much.
Oh,
The
so
first
cute.
word that comes up is not sophisticated.
It's not refined. No.
Oh, no.
Like, it feels
Oh,
like
God.
an heiress or something. Oops, got all caught in there. You know, like that she's an heiress.
on. It just like attached itself to my leader
Without your consent.
without my consent.
I'm telling you. Well, that's an interesting point because there is something I feel about this person having like not ulterior motives, but like he is so hard to get. And I feel like she's a collector of good, cool things, you know, beautiful, hard to get things. That's what she's used to. And I feel like she goes to try to get him. And he's a little intrigued, but they don't.
Not a love match?
Well, no, I don't think so. But the spin. Whew, oh my God. Like they were their chemistry is their physical chemistry is excellent. But their lives just don't match. Their lives don't work. So it's funny. That's the opposite of what you said. I feel like they don't work together because of what they want in life. But
she makes them less smooth a spin for me.
Oh, see, I'm like, wow, this is like just dreamy. Oh gosh.
Ooh,
I know.
ooh.
They're very nice. Let me see while you're doing that. Let's see what other people think.
Very nice together.
Oh, Alpaca is the little black dress. That's it.
Yes!
That's it.
Alpaca
Completely. Yes. Oh, Hannah's hair. Yay. Interesting. Did not get hair. Oh, okay. So Robin, you did not get hairiness out of your experience, ended up with some sleekness instead. This is the funny thing.
I also think like I didn't actually, when you say hairy, like hairy in spirit, or
no,
hairy like it was actually hairy.
But this is the thing. So I spun the first half outside. I forgot to finish that thought. First half outside, and then the second half I spun inside, and I couldn't see the hairs as much. So I think if I spun it inside, I might have missed this. But I actually videotaped it, but then I couldn't get it on, and then I ended up. I think I deleted it accidentally. But there were like hairs that were coming off, like not hairs, but like there were like.
It feels sleek, but it's not actually sleek. It doesn't. Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Do you see what I mean? Like that. This feels a little sleeker actually than he was on his own. There were like furry bits. But it was super. It sounds contradictory, but it was both of the things. It was furry bits, but also incredibly smooth, like with no bumps, just like really great.
Yeah, when I spun it, and again, maybe it was like high humidity, the thunderstorm, but like it was like no hands long draw, which is not something that I can do, and this is not a no hands long draw for me.
Oh, really?
Like
Well, maybe with a little more tension on the wheel, really, because it feels like. I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough tension either.
I want to like it. I want to like it, but there just isn't a spark for me.
Knit group at my house. She likes the chest hair too. I'm all about it. Okay, Amy B. I'm on the fence about starting spinning. Okay, we can talk about that after. It's not a requirement, but if you do it, it's a rabbit hole that is really fun to fall into. Hot one night stand. I don't know if I could see a one night stand with her because I don't think she does. I think she goes exactly. I think she went for him and was like, this is a conquest.
But yes, it's like she wanted to try something different.
Yeah. And everyone else wants him. Like he's the one people know of him, but it's like nobody gets him. Maybe she came to town and she's like, what's up and all this, and she's there just for a little bit, and everybody's like, she's don't even try it with Bond.
He's just having his whiskey by himself, reading his like leather bound book.
Oh yeah,
she's like, I want it.
He might even be writing in a leather journal.
I still love him.
I know, I do too.
I'm glad that this is not.
She breeds Arabian, so knows about farms and ranches. Yes. Oh my God, this is my favorite thing ever. Reading these comments. Sit up. So Tracy, you think it's making it more slippery?
It is more slippery. This is why I can't no hands long draw.
Oh my God, Laura Alice, she's got.
It does, however, it is like Arabian horse vibes. This is how I feel. It's like so gorgeous and black. When I say Arabian horse, I don't know anything about horses. I'm literally just thinking
Arabians
about
are like beautiful black, like
about like TikTok meme. Arabian horses and like storybook Arabian horses, like they just get away from you, which is what is happening to me right now.
Okay.
That if I try and do it long draw, it's getting away from me.
Interesting.
Probably.
Lynn is
I'm on a completely different
core. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I feel like if your tension was maybe less. Okay. Lynn is watching it out on her deck, and she has to turn down the volume because her neighbors are wondering what the hell she's watching. It's wool porn.
Keep this PG.
Yeah.
PG. Are we
romance.
Anything particularly racy other than like a little chest hair?
We're getting a little excited. I think.
Okay. Yes. I retract everything I said before. I was distracted and had my wheel set.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
But it's more of a, so Kelsey, it's more of a halo than Harry. I agree.
It does have a halo.
But it had a hair. I wish I taped it, but then I didn't. I couldn't get a thing, and now I can't do it again.
Maybe because you had patted
was
Mr. Bond on your
hair.
face so many times, you like staticked him. And so he's like,
oh, the whole 25 grand. Well, at least 12 and a half.
I do think, like, if you compare
this, I know.
Multitasking is not one of my
that's
strong
true.
suits.
Which I
like, if you look at this, you can see that it's a bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like, so there is like a fuzziness.
There's definitely a fuzzy.
Okay. Fuzzy sensation. Okay. Well,
so.
Here's the thing. I think that given enough time, I could learn how to spin this with more ease. And I think I would like it. The fiber itself is gorgeous.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But from the perspective of, is it a good match that I'm willing to retract my claws from my claim on Mr. Bond? No. I mean,
yeah,
I care about him enough that if in this lineup there was, a really good match and it wasn't me, it'd be okay, but it's not her. It's definitely.
But I don't think I think she's happy that it's not. Like, I think it's not like she's like devastated. She wanted him. They got together. It was fireworks, but not in a way that's sustainable. They know they can't live together. Neither wants to.
Do you think they'd be friends after?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I think they're both like, it's like they were both caught up in the story of like what it would be. What would it be like to be with someone who's like that? And she's like, what would it be like to like be with someone like that? And then they gave it a try. And there just wasn't anything. Although if you were to meet them together and like look at them,
beautiful
you'd be
together.
Like, wow.
Yes. And I think
They're
their
so
sex would be
gorgeous.
really good.
They would have really good sex.
Yeah.
And they would make really beautiful babies.
Well, that's for sure.
But
yes, but they're not going to make babies.
Bond.
They're not going to make babies together.
No, because they wouldn't choose to make babies. They're too like independent.
It's like a month. Like, it's not a one night stand, but it's not more than a month of like being together.
Like
might even be
like
three times.
Dates
Exactly.
and like no texts in between.
Oh yeah. Yes. And trying to make like they're trying to make it work.
I look at you,
not.
you look at me. This should work. I've not tried this before, but like just
they can't. They're not going to stay together.
All right. Well, Miss Alpaca.
Let me just see. I didn't know. My husband walked out of his office like, what is this? Oh, Lily's here too. Okay. All right.
And I was
Let's
like,
move on
how do
because
we
can read this
How
forever.
do we explain what it is that we're doing here?
We can't even explain it. Like, how many times have I tried to explain this and be like, this is what we're doing?
What we're doing is we're going to just chat with you guys about.
Can we show? So the next one is a Gotland. Now,
okay.
If anyone is going to make it for this one, I feel like Gotland could be it. Look at that.
Hot spring.
Oh boy.
Okay, so now that we have the
silky,
locks, because Melanie
shiny.
so lovingly tucked little locks into all of these speed dates. Like, who do you think? So this is Ernie. Ernie is a Gotland lamb from Fiber and Forge in Abbotsford, BC. So, like, who do you think Ernie is alone? Because we have a lock. Like, who's Ernie?
You're right.
We couldn't do this before because we like didn't have we didn't have like the contender solo.
Ernie's fun.
Ernie's a fun guy.
He's fun. He's fun. To me, he's not super refined.
No.
He's a cowboy, maybe too. Like he works outside, but he's more like frolicky, like fun. He's like a fun guy.
He's like a joker.
Yeah.
He's like the life of the party.
Yeah.
He's got a big personality.
Oh, I'm already wanting to spin him. He's like already starting to.
But so Gotland, one of my favorite fibers.
Hair.
Super silky. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more open to this relationship.
Oh, I know you are. If there was going to be one.
If there's going to be one.
Like,
just because I love Gotland or because you think that it.
Because you love Gotland. Like,
yeah,
you love.
Because I love Gotland.
Yes.
I
mean, I love Gotland too. It's like so silky and it's good. I feel like
the Jack Black guy. No.
Maybe
Jack
he's a
Black
little
was
better
just,
looking.
Like, not so crass.
Yeah.
Jack
You know
Black's
what?
a little crass,
Jack
or Jack
Black
Black-
in the holiday.
Okay, yeah.
When you're like, how is Jack Black kind of attractive? Like that was really
Not
like
School of Rock Jack
no,
Black.
not any other Jack
Not
Black.
any other Jack Black.
But he was like, you're like, okay. Yeah. Maybe. My prediction is, and I don't know, and this will be based on the spinning, so who knows? But one thing I think about Gotland is that it's incredibly drapey and long, and because of that, it doesn't trap air as much. To me, it's a silkier.
Oh yeah.
And so, is it going to fill him out? Now, maybe that's all it's needed, just a little bit more of something.
I don't think he needs to be filled out. You think he needs more plumpness. Yes. I think he needs more this. It's kind of like, I kind of feel like he's like, am I a merino or am I a long wool? Like
he's
by himself.
Like that.
He's like that.
Yes.
It's like he's straddling the two. And I think this is gonna like bring out his long woolness.
I think so too. Now will that be good?
Love. Which I'm gonna love just personally as a spin experience. Yes. But is it going to be a good match for him? I don't know.
Let's find it. Well, before we do it, let's see if anybody has any predictions.
Predictions.
All right. Okay. Definitely. Oh, hi from Brazil. Hi, Norris. Amazing.
Genuinely learning so much really about our relationship preferences.
Seriously. Okay, Robin, you've done Gotland too. Okay, so I'm not gonna I'm gonna keep reading. Jacqueline Ernie was her favorite with Bond, a wonderful masculine partner. This is what I'm thinking, like is it like
wingman situation?
No, like together. Like I could see this being romantic.
We'll see.
What's the Brokeback Mountain? Is it like a Brokeback Mountain kind of situation? I mean, I can see that, like, because he, actually that does kind of fit. Because that Heath Ledger character fits my interpretation, that lone, but the Jake Gyllenhaal character had more of a like sweet, like jovial personality.
Jake Gyllenhaal is Gotland.
Yes.
All right, we've now we've like
look at this.
We're
people.
Just gonna
look at this. It just grabs itself. It's like, yeah, Gotland is incredible. Okay.
What was I gonna say? So spinning wise, I find Gotland to be a little sometimes unruly because it's so slick. I've been spinning. I have spun a couple like 100% Gotlands that have been prepped in sort of different ways. I've never done a bat before. I've done roving and comb top. And usually when I'm spinning Gotland, I do have to pay like 100% Gotland. I have to pay more attention.
Yes, because it
just like
spins so quickly,
it goes
right?
thin and it like flies.
Yes. Yes.
So quickly.
Exactly. I feel the same. Let's make sure you don't miss any like.
Hello, I'm so happy that
oh my god,
people are still dropping
Brit's
in.
Here.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, I love this. Brittany, how could you have forgotten? Hasn't this been on your mind like since we announced it weeks ago? Okay, let me put this.
Can we just like, okay, so I'm gonna try not to express my crush on Melly like more than 15 times in this hour, but I really appreciate that we're getting a Gotland experience.
Me too.
Like I appreciate that like a Gotland was included in this.
I am gonna let you speak first.
to get my leader.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna read. But I'm sure Gotland would be a good match because it's so unique and interesting. Oh, I like that, Sarah Jane. True. Fabulous.
What is happening?
I mean, do you see this? Like,
ooh. I'm not taking up my fiber.
Oh, yeah. I'm dying. I want to talk.
Talk.
No, I want to hear your thing first.
Spinning wheel malfunction.
Of course. I just know what influenced you.
Not taking up.
It's not taking up. Well, maybe this says something. I don't know. Maybe you want them both on your own and you don't want them to be together.
From the 3 pulls, I love them.
Yeah,
I love them.
they are not even. It's not going thin. It is like.
I think this is
it.
I think this is the like something that he needs is right here.
Oh, all right. Well, since you're already saying that,
Okay, give your take.
Well, no. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Seriously.
I'm gonna be here for a while.
So I don't. So this is it's too far back. One thing about Bond, what I really liked when I said he was so smooth was he didn't go very thin. Like sometimes you can pull and then they go like kind of a little bit thick and thin. He stayed quite. Ooh, no, wait a second. I let that overdo. Quite good. But this one's actually even better. In my opinion, it's staying really consistent.
Yeah.
Really consistent. And I feel like it's filling it out actually in the same way that like we're talking about. It's not filling it out in the way that I predicted this person might be. I feel like this one is similar.
Oh God.
Like they're very similar.
So good.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
really nice.
Okay.
And it's hairier to me, the halo.
Hairier.
I love,
Harry is our word.
hairy. Yeah, the halo is good, and I think that is what would really like when knit up, when finished and knit up, it would kind of like fill in those spaces. So so this is interesting. It's like the Gotland Ernie fills in the spaces that are missing, but with more of the same. Like, so it's not filling in with a difference. It's filling in all along the same lines that exist within Bond.
It's like a really great relationship where the person that you're with makes you more you.
Yes, that is exactly it. There's nothing being added that wasn't there, but it's richer.
It's like
richer
accentuating his beautifulness.
Yes.
And I think that Mr. Bond isn't the only one who benefits from this. I think Ernie gets
thicker.
Gets body. There's like a richness. Oh my God.
Oh, this is really
okay. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice spin.
Yeah.
God, this would make amazing shawl.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking of like even a hat, which is really funny because I would not make a hat out of Gotland. Well, maybe a spring hat. But this one feels maybe because of Bond, what you're saying, like adding to to Ernie, it feels like there's a little bit more air that's getting captured here, and would be nice and warm.
Yeah, it's like poofy. It's like Ernie. I feel like in terms of the relationship, like I think Ernie uses humor as a coping mechanism, a little bit as like a defense mechanism. Like I'm like jovial and I'm gonna crack jokes and like I'm not gonna. He's like not so comfortable like going deep and being vulnerable and soft. And I think Mr. Bond is like, I'm just gonna be here. And in his like being there, Ernie's like, oh, I can soften a little.
That is interesting. So in this case, if this was the Brokeback Mountain thing, I mean, I haven't even seen that movie in so long, so I don't even know. But like, which is Ernie actually more like the Heath Ledger character?
No.
Because I feel like the other guy had more of a sense of self. Like he was like, he knew himself. I mean, whereas the other guy was just tortured about who he really was.
I don't really think Ernie or Mr. Bond are tortured in the way that Brokeback Mountain.
That's true.
Were.
All right. True.
Pain. Watched it once, will not watch it again because it just like broke my heart. This is so delicious.
Yeah, okay, this is actually a spin that I really don't even want to stop doing. The alpaca was lovely and soft and beautiful.
Mine's coming out really thin. Look at how thin mine is.
That's mine too, but really consistent, right? Like just like I'm not doing anything to keep
Melly.
This well done, Melly. Melly, you got to do more of these ones. Seriously.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. So Melly has bonds. This is not your last chance. I think this is your last.
Gotland.
This is your last chance to have I don't think there's any Mr. Bond left.
This particular
But
bond.
there's much more bond.
Oh, here's
That
something
is coming.
Okay, tell me this. So I don't know if you can see this, and Jackie, you can see better. This might surprise you, but I'm not, my management of my bobbins is not very good. Like, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh shit, right. Like, it's like, because what happens is when it starts to kind of move forward and then it spins out.
Oh, like I call this the turtleneck.
Oh, it's like a turtleneck. That's so
Like a turtleneck. Why does that happen? People who actually are experienced spinners, why do our bobbins turtleneck?
Do you see? Okay, so this is where I'm spinning. This is where my little thing that's spinning it around stayed. And then it just kind of spins itself out like this. Now, here is what I noticed with Bond on his own. He didn't.
Yes, he didn't turtle.
What happened? Like, I'm like, because I wasn't managing him.
This is
better.
This is what I mean. Okay, and so this is also why I think Bond is an Australian, because he has like a natural ease about him. Like,
yes,
by himself, there's an ease in the spinning, and like this is also really easy. I don't think it's as slick as it was.
It's not as slick.
It's not as slick.
And it's definitely not as slick as a Gotland would be too. Enough. So they've made each other less slick.
Yeah.
And the Gotland would be Swedish. What's that? Swedish with an Australian. What?
Think about all the funny sayings that they would have to share with each other.
Oh, it would be awesome.
Like, you know, those like catchphrases that are like culture or place specific that are like,
oh.
I don't know any that are Swedish, but I know that there are a couple that if you like translate into English, they just like,
they're hilarious.
They're hilarious.
Well, I think Swedish people are hilarious. I think they're hilarious in ways that they don't even know how hilarious they are. Like just what they say.
Do you think these guys are life partners? Because I do.
Would you like me to say yes? I think that they would be very happy together. Yes.
I also though think that this is a relationship that like if they met each other and they were 19, they wouldn't be able to like appreciate each other. This is like they've both found themselves as individuals to the extent that they can find themselves as individuals.
Yes.
And they're like thriving in life. It's like they're not tortured, they're not broken.
Yeah.
They meet each other and they just make each other better.
I think I do think they
like,
make each
wow,
other better.
I don't need to be a lone wolf. And like I can be a lone wolf. And they're both totally okay with like, I'm gonna have some alone time and I'm gonna like go into the outback for a week and just like camp out. That's
they all understand.
And
you're off for your fishing trip? That makes sense. Go off. Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Are they the same age as each other?
Ooh. I don't get a big age difference.
I get a tiny
within 5 to 10 years.
Me too. And who's younger?
Ernie.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Well, that means Robin. So my feel was that this was a whirlwind relationship. Ernie took Mr. Bond by the hand and Mr. Bond went eagerly along with, but didn't assert his own personality too much.
Ooh, good point. Do you feel Mr. Bond in here?
I feel like I feel Mr. Bond.
You have to look though.
Well, it's funny because I think I'm attributing not going so silky and fast to Mr. Bond, even though he was quite silky and fast. But maybe I'm seeing him as the one that's gripping it rather than the Gotland, because I think it's the Gotland that's so
I do
fast.
think Mr. Bond is grippier. But interesting point. Now that that's so discerning, because like if you handed me this bat, I'd be like, oh, this is great. But I don't think I had the same like gasp with this spinning experience as I did with Bond Solo. So I think maybe he's like not like I just think they're equal partners, and if someone's like sort of faded into the background, it's Bond.
Yep.
You know how like
I think so too.
When there's the funny one in the couple,
This is
always sort of like steps forward.
Yeah,
It's always
I
like
think
memorable.
that I don't see Ernie as like introverted. I see Bond as introverted, more on the introverted end.
Yeah.
I think Ernie actually likes people, and that's good because that's him like coming in.
Yeah.
Now, could Ernie? Yeah, hopefully he's not so extroverted that he's not okay living in a cat like in a.
No, I don't think he overshadows him.
No, or like that he's not going to be too
isolated.
isolated.
Happy.
It's really pretty.
Oh god, okay.
Look at the shine. You see the shine of it?
Good.
Wow,
It's so good.
I wonder. I think it's shinier. That Gotland, shinier than just Bond on his own.
See, even when you hold it up like that, though, that like Mr. Bond is also the perfect color.
Yes.
It's the perfect
Charcoal,
gunmetal.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yum. I literally just said that. Okay.
As a couple, they hang out with Ernie's friends more. Yeah.
Yes. Well, because Bond doesn't have real friends.
He has friends. Bond has like, he goes for whiskey and coffee and dinner dates, but he doesn't like throw a party. He's not like comfortable in those group situations, but Ernie like brings him into those group situations.
He does. And he does fine there because he's sociable enough. He just, Sarah Jane, are you spinning it right now? She's like, ooh, Gotland and Bond are such a pleasure to spin. They are. Helen, as a Swedish person, I'd love to hear you elaborate on that. I don't know how to say it. Like, maybe it's because when you guys, I guess here's the thing. I don't know if you're always making jokes, but they're funny. Like, so I sit and I laugh but you're so like deadpan not deadpan. I don't know if that's the right word, but like, just so like, you say it. Like, it's like a little, are you joking? It's like a little, not dry. It's dry and just very like, you could hold that, like you don't break. You're like, and then it is a joke, but you're like so good at like holding that without like laughing first. You know when people are like funny and they are funny, yes, and they know they're funny, and so when they like crack a joke, they're like waiting for your response. Yes, like you can just like see that. Yes, the like 4 Swedish people that I know are all hilarious. Yes, but they're not like stand-up comedians that are just like, ha, I'm so funny. Yeah. Look how funny I am. They're just like completely serious, and yet I laugh all the time. It's like and sometimes I'm like, oh no, are we laughing together or am I laughing at you? But see, that's it. I never feel like they feel like we're like, they're not. They always are telling a joke. It's just like how you deliver I don't know how to say this. We love you. That's what I'm trying to say. You're wonderful. Ernie feels younger. Agreed. Funny. I feel they can really be themselves with each other. Yeah, I see that, Sarah Jane. This might be more prickly once plied and finished than the straight up Bond. True story. Yes. And Robin says the same. That's what it was my experience. I think when it's plied, Ernie's gonna be more front and center. I think so too. Yes, I agree. Maybe. Sure. Maybe this is what happens when you have kids. They make each other better. Mm-hmm. But I think Mr. Bond gives more to the relationship than Ernie. I think Ernie gets more out of the relationship maybe than Mr. Bond. Yes. Like Ernie is the kind of person who I'm like, I don't think Ernie should be single. I think Ernie needed somebody. He did. And Mr. Bond came along and it worked for both of them. Yes. But I think Ernie came after Mr. Bond though. Like I don't think Mr. Bond pursued anybody. I don't know that he would pursue. Just because he's extroverted and he's the one who makes the first move. Well, yeah, I think Mr. Bond doesn't 100% know that he needs someone. It's like he knows deep in his subconscious, but doesn't quite like full out know. He's so happy as he is that he's not like going out to try. But a lot of people keep trying to get in with him, like the first. Because he's charismatic and interesting and so handsome. Rugged. So I think, I'm having like a moment where somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Melanie, if you're here, please correct me. I think that a Bond way back at its roots. So Melanie describes Bonds as fine wool with work boots. Yeah. And I think it's because it's a Merino Lincoln cross. Like if you went all the way back. Oh, that would make sense. So there's that long wool and that like softness. Mm-hmm. Right? So next on our lineup is Bond. Look at the cute little staple. Hello, little Merino. See again. Oh my God, that crimp. Like such a cute little cotton ball. So I think the crimp, the more crimp, the softer it generally is. Is that right? I don't know. Like finer it is. I mean, makes me think about bounciness. Like how much like wink. Like you know how a Gotland has some wink, doesn't have very much. Gotland is like it could go back together, but it's more likely to just shoo. Whereas I feel like with more crimp, it's like I could shoo or I could wink. Yes, and I think it's the blink that stops the little things from sticking up to be prickly, if I'm right.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's true. Blink. But that's some, look at that crimp, man. Like crimps.
So
So
can we
people talk about
this
crimps per
color?
inch
This
kind of
color is
thing.
so
Oh,
good. I guess again. Now every time I want to say something about merino, I'm like, do I actually hate this merino? But I don't know. But I love her. Her?
Ooh, I don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
Her.
What
What
is
is? Let's
strong?
see. What does
Not
it say?
particularly strong. Like Ernie was definitely masculine.
This feels
I get tomboy.
tomboy. So like
So feminine,
but a lot of like more masculine.
more
than
masculine.
feminine.
Like the opposite.
Sorry, I have to do
The opposite of Little Miss Alpaca.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
like
but I feel a feminine, like
feminine energy.
moving on the feminine energy side of things, for sure. Plus, this is
Oh, it's so
that is a
beautiful.
Jackie color.
I know.
Nelly. We have to come back to. There's a thing I was like, oh, Jackie's gonna want this. Anyway, we'll come back to that.
Yes, because this color. So from a purely aesthetic point of view, I'm like, this is it, because it's got the like coolness of Mr. Bond, but it's got that like warmth.
It is
like
that's a great color.
If this sheep, if they had a baby and walked past, that's the kind of sheep where, oh my God, this is a horrible thing. I look at sheep and I'm like, I want to make a sweater out of you.
Oh, I do too.
Like,
is that okay?
Like, cable.
Can I just
Cable.
skip a little bit?
Hat. I know
so this is
that
a
you
full-out
are a
sweater.
being.
Like I want to
This is a
put you
sweater.
on the like a cardi sweater, like a big cocoon
Could
cardi.
be like a grandpa style cardi, or it could be like a simple mock neck, turtleneck, stockinette, like with all of the just the perfect like seam details. Like there's like a classic
structure
thing,
to it,
like a drop shoulder with really deep rib.
Hi, baby. Hello.
I do think
it smells
Miss
so good.
Merino. So this is Merino that comes from Apple Creek Merino in
the US.
Oregon, US. Okay, and so here's the
American,
thing. Here's what I have
Australian.
to say about Merinos. I've not ever worked with like a Merino bat, like a traceable Merino.
Right,
My
me
Merino
neither.
experiences are like very early on in my knitting. Like I just happened to be, I can't remember, was it like We Are Knitters or We Are Wool or something like that, where it's like fair, like beautiful colors, like fairly like commercial. And so I feel like sometimes with commercial yarns, because they've been like dyed and processed, there's like not as much personality.
Yes.
And maybe this is why I think Merino is vanilla, because I don't think Miss Merino over here is vanilla.
I don't feel so. I know.
She's got so much personality.
She's cool.
She's cool. Want to be friends with her.
She's elegant, but also she has more depth to her. She's not. Yeah, she's not an heiress. Not that there's anything wrong with being an heiress.
Well, she's not just vanilla.
She's
She's not vanilla in the bad way.
No,
I love
she's
vanilla, to be clear, but
this is a really great color. I like this color more than this. Like this one's beautiful to me, but this is so pretty. Oh yeah.
are we objectifying sheep?
Damn straight. That's what we're doing. Absolutely. All right. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Are we joking?
Crimps.
She asked if we objectifying. I love that.
Crimps mean that the wool has the ability to bend. Less crimp, less bend, needs less twist. Oh God,
Oh boy, what was that?
Oh, that's like trying to do algebra.
Crimps mean that the wool has the ability to bend, less crimp, less bend, needs less twist. And so the softness means it's softer that way because it won't prick up. I don't know. And Robin, I feel you. So Robin says, maybe I'm self-biased as a non-binary person, but I'm getting some gender-neutral feel from mix. Well, how would we say that? MX Merino. I agree. It's very like it's like it's not.
It's not strongly one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Okay, shall we see?
MX Merino. I love that.
Yeah. How do you pronounce? That's the first time I've seen that as a, MX. How do you pronounce?
If you
that? I would
over
love
twist a
that.
low crimp wool, it'll get ropey and
mix.
feel scratchy.
Thank you, Robin. I've just learned it's pronounced mix. I like that.
Mixed merino.
Mix merino. All right. Okay, gotcha.
I get friend vibes. I haven't spun yet, but I get friend vibes.
Friend vibes, hey?
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I feel like this might be it for me in terms of what I still feel he could use. Because I feel like there's some kind of thing that's different.
Mixed merino adds something.
Yeah, I think so. Like something a little bit floofy, but like not in a superficial floofy way. Just something that has like more bounce or body to it.
Quick on the bobbin.
Oh,
I multitask.
threading it.
Just like you're always spinning, and I'm like, do. Like I'm the reason this is my 3.5 hours.
Focus. Like it's like I don't focus on anything except when I want to, and then I'm like right in there.
I also realized that I've been spinning a ton for Tour de Fleece, and I don't know what you guys have been doing. I don't know what you've been doing. It's like I spin everything, and then I have one ply day. So yesterday was one of my ply days because I had to clear off enough bobbins that I could actually do this. Have enough bobbins to like do all these. Puppies, in.
Oh, I bet somebody came to the door, and that's why they're all like, we gotta get in.
So when I first started spinning, my legs automatically went the ply direction instead of the spin direction, which is why my leader was all confused. I was like, what is happening? Something isn't right.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I switched directions.
There we go. Well, but yeah, don't do that. Lesson 8.
Please don't be learning
all these things you're learning from us.
You can learn things in the comments from the actual learned people.
Yes. Thank God for them.
Thank God for them.
So I'm going to say something that I'm surprised about.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it just because it's popping in my head.
Okay.
This one I feel is up and down. So not as thin, like it's not as evenly coming up
on a pre-draft
apart as the other ones, but I think that might be what I want. I think he needs a little bit of like something that's not perfect. Like because I agree, like his place, he lives on a ranch, but everything's ordered. Everything's in its place. And I think that Mixed Merino has a little more like, it's not chaos, but like maybe she's kind of me. I feel like they are kind of me. I feel connected with this. And I feel like that would bring, I want Bond to choose me. Clearly.
You think Mr. Bond is like a little too perfect, a little too perfectionistic?
I think not that it's too much, but I think that having a little bit more up and down might be kind of interesting for his life. Like it brings something different. And if we're thinking about the spinning, the actual like plying and then knitting with it, it reminds me of what I love about like Newton, like where it's thick and thin as you go. And so it creates something and then it kind of fills out.
Like dynamic.
It's got there's an energy and a movement to
dynamic.
it.
I agree.
I
agree.
Like this.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. And I like it for a reason I didn't
friend
think.
Connection.
Oh no, like love connection.
Love connection.
Yeah. I think this is where he's like, I didn't know that I could like this. You know, like I didn't know life could be like this.
And what would they do? What would they do in their free time?
Oh, that's interesting.
I think why would they expand?
I think they would actually do each other's things.
Oh,
I think that sometimes they'd be sitting and reading and whatever, I know, right? Whatever Mix Merino wanted to do, Mr. Bond will come along with it and actually be surprised that he likes it. But it's not a perfect. Okay. So
they do couples therapy. I'm just calling it.
They do couples.
They do couples therapy.
That's a good thing.
Like proactively.
Yeah.
They're like, we're a little different, and we'll want to understand each other.
Yeah. Like it's not too thick and thin. Like if it was too thick and thin, that would be like, like it is still spinning quite nicely, but it's a little bit more. And it's funny. I think I like that it's a little bit more. So I recently, 2 days ago, my husband just loves how I get impulse buy off Instagram. because Instagram just knows me really well. So anyway, I got that Shakti mat. Have you seen this thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you lie on it, and it's like people describe it's made out of like Lego pieces, but they're so sharp. So it's like not Lego knives, and you like lie on it. It's supposed to be like acupressure. It's unbelievably painful, and
you need a spook. Same
What?
thing, but not sponsored. Not sponsored
Yes,
by
seriously.
either of these
No,
things.
I bought
But
this.
if you
My
want
husband was very
acupressure,
happy.
I'll bring my spook over.
Oh,
Spook
okay.
is my life. I love a spook.
Well, what I was trying to say with it is that, so I said to my husband, I was like, I did 23-minute yesterday. And he's like, what? How did you, like, and I'm like, when I got up, I was like, like, it was horrible. And then I was like, it's so painful. It's got to be good for me. You know, like, it's like the idea of, I know people do like the Wim Hof stuff. And like one of the reasons for it is like putting your body under a challenge so that it's like, it's healthy to put your body in an uncomfortable kind of place.
Well, it's satisfying. Self-satisfying. Oh my god, this is delightful.
This is beautiful. Okay, this one beats it for me.
I love mixed merino.
There you go. You just needed a merino that hadn't lost its personality by being combined.
This color
is so beautiful. Okay, here, I want to try to show what I mean. So I could pull this out, but can you see how it's like thinner here, and then this section just kind of happens to be a bit thicker, and sometimes I would pull that one, but instead I'm not going to, and then it gets thinner again. I think I'm liking for this thing. I feel like I want the up and down, which in other places I just naturally don't. I pull it apart, but I like it. I think it's a little different. It's a little bit of a challenge.
I just wanted to pre-draft it. It just had the sense, and mine is not up and down at all. See, they go and they do a little inner work, a little prep, like a little proactive couples therapy.
See?
And it's just smooth sailing.
Absolutely. I think they would stay. I think they would stay together. There would be, some challenges that they approach because of their differences, but I think their differences are complementary for both of them.
Can you see Mr. Bond as a father? Because I can't.
I don't think.
Because I was like, okay, so they're in it in the long term. Like, what does that look like? And I just don't see kids in the picture.
I don't either. I actually think this is another relationship that's later. Like, I think they're in their 40s. I think they both, though, are similar age. Mm-hmm. And they both have lived on their own, like, and been very, very happy with that. Like, I don't know that this one, I don't know that Mix Merino even pursued Mr. Bond. And I don't think he pursued. I think they came together. I think they just couldn't, like, resist.
Relationship with
they hated each other at first.
Did they?
Well, like a great romance is. You have to hate each other. Well, not in real life, but in a romance. I didn't hate my partner. I liked him very much right from the start. But you know, in a romance, like it's always like, oh, they hate each other, and then blah blah blah. Then they end up together.
In a book.
In a book.
In like a
I read these.
I don't want to stop.
I don't either. Okay. You keep going, and I'll read.
Okay, you have to choose Mr. Bond and Ernie.
Oh, definitely. I already have
or
mine.
Mr. Bond and Mix Merino.
Definitely Mix for me.
Yeah, Mix. Agree, Mix.
Okay. Robin says they are warm together. I love that. They are warm together. That's beautiful. Oh, Tracy loves this color blend. Robin, oh yeah, these colors are great because there's a slight difference. You can see where Mr. Bond stands out. That's true. Oh, Monique. She's still on the fence too about spinning, but loving the different descriptions of wool breeds. Actually getting up to try some natural dyeing. Ooh, nice. Oh, Robin, this is a friends to lovers in her opinion.
Friends
or their opinions. They hung out first and were like, maybe let's try it. Yeah. That's another route for sure. They weren't right out. Like neither of them. They were
like it wasn't
good.
It wasn't like Ernie and Bond at the bar, It's not like they saw each other and there was like an immediate, something.
Mm-hmm. And I still think Ernie went after Bond.
Yeah.
And I also think Alpaca went after Bond.
Yeah.
And these guys just were
in
each
like
other's orbits.
Together they are something different.
Yes.
Than
either on their own. Totally.
Like
there's less of a long wool feel here. Like Bond on his own had more of a long wool feel to me. This one's not just merino either. It's not a fine wool. Doesn't feel fine.
Are you doing this long draw? Like for me, see, we're both. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to do like a short back.
I do this This is what I've been doing mostly now. Just these like, is this supported long draw?
Yeah.
Who know? This is my favorite because then I just kind of let it do its thing and find out what it wants to do.
Oh, so nice.
Gosh, we should keep an eye on the time. You're probably like, yes, girls, got it. You like this. Move on. How many bobbins do we have? Hope this is an embarrassing thing to admit. I have 14.
You have 14?
Oh,
I have
yeah.
8.
I could have even more.
I have 8 and more on the way.
Yeah, you do,
because
yeah.
Melly's partner, Karen, A-Bobs.
Oh, yes.
A-Bobs is printing
Oh my God, I have to see
Printing,
that. I want to get some of those.
bobbins for the Lendrum double treadle. You're
Okay.
in R&D.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but I did no bobbin management. I want to show you. And you too, look. Look at this. So this says something to me. I'm going to read into this, but look. What? There's no turtleneck.
What?
Why?
Experienced spinners in
Yes.
the chat.
Why does that
Why
happen?
does turtlenecking happen? In my head, I'm like, is this turtlenecking because I've done something wrong?
Whoa, guys.
All right, go find out what's happening. No bobbin management. Lots of puppy management. Ooh.
Like this is gorgeous to me. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love that it's just staying. Yeah, somebody tell us why. Okay. Well, we're waiting. Kidding. Hopefully by the end
It's
of
our
this we'll
turn.
have
They've
something.
been like, they're like, girls, you just staring at your bobbins.
Oh, we're just
Um,
literally. I could say this has never happened. Usually it goes up. I've never seen anything like this. But actually, except so even Mr. Bond, he did this. Now maybe it's where my leader was. But anyway, I'm sure it's not that. They're just staying. They're a good match.
They're a match. They
Oh my
are.
gosh, we
they
still
are
have
top
2?
of the list.
Yeah.
For me.
What about other people? So many. You have 4 wheels, Tracy? Oh my God. My electric wheels have the most bobbins. For my castle wheels, I only have about 45 each. Well, that makes sense because you can use your other wheels. But when you just need to spin, and sometimes you're not done your other things if you're like me, and I just want I need this try. I need to try this. Okay.
Who's next?
Who is?
Next?
Oh, look at this one. Look at this guy. Okay, this is with Mushu. I've always, Mushu's been sort of on the scene with Melly for a bit of time, not very long, but I was always like, Mushu, best name. So Mushu is a Finn Arcott, fortuitous family farms in Alberta. Look at this girl.
Have you spun a Finn or Arcot before? Like this? Is
I
a
have
that I
spun
have
an
no
Rito Arcott.
Rito Arcot.
So
Same thing.
it is the same because I think it's agricultural something of something.
I want a
Ottawa.
sweater quantity
Ottawa.
of Bond and
Agricultural College of Ottawa? I don't know. Oh yeah, sorry, what was this? Freaking love Mushu, Melly. Oh my gosh. Yes.
no, I'm more.
I would have a sweater quantity of Bond and mix Merino too. Okay. Boing.
Ooh,
Right?
ooh, do that again.
I could do that all day actually. Woo. Yeah.
I love.
These are fun. I
love
want to
a
see this
little
sheep.
Little walk.
I know.
Fun.
Okay, so this is a fun. Okay, so personality-wise, based on the
Mushu is
Mushu's a ham.
a.
Don't you think?
Do you think Mushu's a party?
Party.
Person?
Maybe not party in the
Destructive way.
destructive way, something like some harming way, but more like in the I love life. Look at me. This is fun. Life is amazing. Don't take it too seriously.
I feel like this is you.
Is that me?
You have a quality of Mushu.
Yeah, actually,
You do.
that's true. That is true.
Boing. I could. Okay. I'm gonna stop. Boinking that.
That is really pleasing.
It's so long.
It's
Yes,
yeah,
right?
look at
It's
this.
so
Look at that.
long.
Whoa.
It looks like an old phone cord. True.
It does.
True, except an old phone cord is not this much fun.
No, this is.
But yes,
Yes. You want to twirl your finger around it? Oh my god. I also like how it's all these look at how
Yours is
individual,
very
right?
neat. Got like a.
Oh,
I ruffled Mushu.
there you go.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Predictions.
You're seeing out there, guys.
Thoughts? Have any of you spun
Mm-hmm.
fins or Arcotts or Mushu?
Oh yeah, so
Melly, why do you love Mushu?
yeah. Yes, always twirling around a finger while chatting endlessly in high school. Me too,
Yes.
right? I would thread my and go
Yes.
up.
And then you'd over twist it, and then
Yes.
it would get all snarled,
yes.
not unlike what happens with pigtails and spinning.
This is it. Yeah, and you had the extra long cord because you had to try to get into your room. Oh, I like it.
It's like a cloud. Okay, this is one that I'm just like, can I get a pillow out? Oh my god. Oh my. Okay, wait. Can you see this one?
Ooh. It is cloudy, but it's not super soft. It's soft, but not. It has Ooh, look at this color. I like this color.
Okay,
it's like my it's my kitchen.
It matches. Okay, so there are sometimes I get fiber, like a bat or roving, and I'm like, I don't know that you're gonna get better if I spin you. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
I don't know if you're gonna get better if I spin you.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to sleep on a bed of these. It's like the opposite of your Shakti mat.
Yeah. Maybe I do my Shakti mat and then I roll this out on the other side of the bed and then just roll on over into it. Help myself.
I could do this for a very long time. Sorry, guys.
Oh, fun fact. When you image Google search Mushu, you just get the dragon from Mulan.
Okay. This is also secretly why I've said that you have Mushu energy, because all I've ever wanted in my life from the Disney princess days is to have a Mushu.
Oh,
actually, I prefer the Lucky Cricket. However,
Aww.
I've always wanted to have a Mushu, and I feel like I found my Mushu.
Well, now I love it even more. Aww. I love that. Melly loves Mushu. Mushu has tailgate energy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting mix with a cowboy. That feels like that might not, personality-wise. It could work like a football.
But I feel like, okay, so
lights.
if Mr. Bond and Mushu were to find themselves in the same place, I don't think Mr. Bond is like, oh, hey, I don't think that he naturally is attracted to Mushu.
I think he's a little
like, whoa.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like,
whoa.
Wowza.
Not in a I don't like Mushu kind of way, but just in a whoa.
Does Mushu have the hat with the beer on the side and the straws, and it's coming up hey man,
I don't feel like Mushu is a hand. I feel like Mushu's life of the party, but I don't think there's that people who are the life of the party and also show up to the party with party favors and an outfit.
Oh,
do you think Mushu shows up with outfit? I don't think.
Oh, is that what a ham is? I don't even know what a ham is.
You
I
said
think I'm a bit of a ham. So if that's, I don't know.
Do you show up with an outfit?
No, but that's why I didn't realize that was a requirement for ham. So then I would change my mind. I definitely do not. I do not participate in outfits generally. No, I do not like being told what to do at a party.
Does anybody?
Well, so
like a theme party?
So I was just at a golf tournament. It was a ladies' golf tournament, and there was a theme. And so my team, we were talking about how we don't participate in that. We just wore our regular stuff. We didn't really want to wear the theme. But I mean, that's not always. I'm an enigma. Sometimes I enjoy it, but only on my terms. Aries energy. That's all I can say. Okay. I like it.
I'm sorry.
It's because
the neighbor is cutting the lawn.
It's actually not even the neighbor. They got a service cutting the lawn, so there's a lot of people.
And Lily doesn't realize that this isn't her house and must guard it.
The good news is that because it's a service, it will be done very fast because they're going to be very efficient.
Melly's in the chat. She said Mushu's tailgate energy, and then she's like, I'm not saying anything else because she doesn't want to influence the experiment.
I love it. Okay, I got up and I'm still on Mushu, right? Is this Mushu?
That's not Mushu.
What? I think so.
Isn't that Mushu over there?
Yes, I think this is the other half. I got up and then there were 2 on the ground.
We're so professional.
They're gonna take my PhD away. Nice science, ladies or lady. All right. I think this is Mushu. Let me see yours. Is that him? No. Or it? Yeah.
Wait.
Frig.
That's Mushu. That's not Mushu. Is it Mushu?
It might be, but we're sure this is.
We're sure this is Mushu.
God.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I almost like to take a moment.
Oh.
I wish that we could spin the camera so you could see Carmen's half and my half. There's fiber everywhere.
How did you get yours all nicely done up again?
Put the little buckles again.
Well, that makes sense. I split them and then I go, beep, and then I kind of stick them together again.
Fiber
And
on
now
the
there's just on the ground. I'm your moosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. I feel confident. I'm gonna be giving you accurate information here.
So this is what I get. Do you always just go straight from the bat loom? Like
Sure
sometimes I'm like, I just want a little
I
looser.
Ooh. I no. Don't. There's no management. There's no management. So I'm spinning also.
Get it on my bobbin right now.
I'm spinning this gorgeous braid. I won from Akara Yarns. It's beautiful and it's merino, camel, alpaca silk. And do you know what I did? Oh, I'm going to show you what I've been doing. This is unbelievable.
Cut to commercial break. She's left me. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You haven't left me.
Oh. So
it's so beautiful.
it is, first of all,
Oh
it's
my
absolutely
God.
gorgeous. But look at this. I didn't even unbraid part of it. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to spin from here. I'm literally just spinning as it goes. Look at this. And so sometimes I go into here and I go, oh, that's kind of far down. And then I just like bring this one. I just like go. Cool.
This is actually why you're such a skilled spinner, because you prep not at all.
0. This should not be surprising.
So like the degree of difficulty for all of your spinning is like max, and I'm here being like,
well, it's been trial by fire. My hands have had no other.
So your bobbins are gorgeous, and you spin beautiful yarn. But oh my God, if I tried to do that, I just.
Remember, Jack, a few episodes ago, where you were like, you'd love to be in my brain for like, like a day. But like, this is what you'd be like dealing with.
I still like to be in your brain.
Oh.
I still like to be fun.
Okay, boys, you are welcome to come in, and girls. But no being silly, please. Okay? Jeez. God. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
All right. Let me look to see what anybody's saying. Oh, yes. Oh, we're cute. Thank you, Robin, for appreciating our craziness.
Ooh. Okay, for once, I'm gonna start spinning this before you.
Ooh, she has Carmen energy.
I like it. Ooh.
Plants.
What is happening right now on my body?
Are you having fun? Oh, Gwen spins from the braid tube.
Oh my God.
Love it, love it, love it.
I love it.
Gwen, I want to know about your personality. Are you like me? Are you like kind of just... I wouldn't say I'm an impulsive, but I don't like to spend time thinking about things. No, I love to think, but not planning. I don't like to plan or do a lot of prep. I like to,
You're not a prepper.
Possible, I'd like to just go and see how it all falls in place.
Yeah,
this is
you're
beautiful.
not a prepper. This is gorgeous.
This is beautiful.
All I got is Mushu.
Me too. I don't Bond is not.
Bond is,
but Mushu.
Mushu is fun.
Hi, Mushu. Hello.
You're gonna go on a date with me, so you're dating yourself.
We would be just like a hurricane. Like both of us together, you know, 2 Mushus in a room. Oh goodness.
That's someone's calling the cops.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
because
too
there's
much.
any illicit activity, but it's just like a rollicking good time.
Oh yeah. Or we're out at the
love
restaurant and
Mushu.
people are like, could you please keep it down? God, you don't all need to hear everything. You're not that funny.
Do you think they're dating?
No.
No, they are not dating.
No. Well, Mushu's happy to date because Mushu's like, who
Down
are you?
forever.
Let's go. Let's have fun. And then Mr. Bond's like, this is too much. I want to go back to my library. You know? Let's just be quiet. I don't think Mushu wants to be very quiet. Ooh, get yourself some thin Arcott, people.
I feel like, you know what this is? This is like, it's like one of Mr. Bond's friends was like, you need to get out of your shell. You know, like maybe Mr. Bond and like Ernie part ways for whatever reason, or he like loses Ernie in some amicable way that isn't about them having dysfunction. And one of his friends is like, you need to get back out there. And he's like, let me set you up on a blind date. And he shows up and it's Mushu, and Mushu is just like all up in the date and like cracking jokes and having a great time. And Mr. Bond's like, whoa.
Yeah, he
Whoa,
goes and has a
he's like-
nap after. I love it. Is he still friends with the person who set him up? Because he's not like, what the heck?
Really?
Guys, it's all good. It's all good.
It's good.
Woo!
You're good.
Yeah,
I could spend this all day.
me too.
Like,
This
you
is
know,
fun.
like
Pizza.
this would be a great date to watch. I feel like.
A great date to watch?
Yeah.
You don't think it would be cringy? Like I would be like,
I'd
fun.
be cringing. It would be horrible. I feel so bad for Mr.
He'd
Bond.
be giving off so much. Like he's
But
such
it
a
would
nice
make
person too.
great
He'd be like,
entertainment. Don't you think?
yeah. I don't know the paint. Well, maybe the Schadenfreude.
Like the
You know,
drama.
the enjoyment of someone else's pain. Like maybe. Like I feel like we would watch that and go, oh, how late? Like
Would
how
you
long does
turn
he
it
have
off?
to stay
Would you
there?
look away?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I think I would be
I'm
like,
saying you
oh,
wouldn't.
this is just so awful.
But see, the thing is, I think he's having a terrible time in terms of a romantic match. But I don't think that he like, you know how sometimes you go on a blind date and not only is it a bad date, but like you're like, I never want to see that person ever again. Like, you know, you're just
I've never
like,
been on a blind date.
um,
I wish I'd had that. Well, don't
Neither
wish now,
have I.
but yeah, I never had that experience.
but I have been on dates that were not blind that were just like, oh my god,
Oh, quite
get me out
sure.
of here.
Quite
That
sure this
human
is not
being,
a match.
I am okay if I never encounter that human being in my life again. And I generally actually like human beings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that kind of situation.
No.
I think he's just like, I think he's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
If Mushu was like, I'm having a party, do you
Yeah,
think Mr.
he'd
Bond would go?
If it worked and he was kind of feeling like he wanted to do it at that time, he would not feel obligated to go. They're not going to be that close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he
He
would
would definitely
go.
drive himself so he could leave at the appropriate time.
Yes. And Mushu doesn't even really notice like that, like Mr. Bond. Like Mushu's kind of.
I
take it or
think
leave it, doesn't
Mushu
care.
throws theme parties.
Okay.
I think Mushu throws a theme party and like
I
is like
think so, too.
totally chill whether you come in
Totally.
theme or not.
Because so many people.
But
are gonna be
Mushu
there.
loves a theme party.
Yeah, you're right. Mushu does.
She throws a party where there's a signature cocktail. You know, you like show up and there's like cotton candy, surprise.
totally.
And there's like alcoholic and non-alcoholic version, but like there's like we are gonna party.
We're gonna
and
party.
everybody's gonna have this drink with an umbrella in it.
This is it. And everybody, yeah, like Mushu's really like also very like considerate, I think, of people's, like he or she wants with them. I think it's another like non-binary. This doesn't feel like
Mushu
there's
doesn't
one
feel way
side,
or the other to me.
but they do want to make sure everybody's having a good time. That's important.
I really now want Mushu solo.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing. I feel like when I've spun Arcott before, it was Rito Arcott, it had more. Do you see like there's more? Are you getting more bumpiness?
Yeah.
Like the
And
neck
there's a little more bite.
And I feel like that was even more so in the one I spun. But of course, that was from a different mill too. So
And a different fleece.
and different fleece. Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. Can you imagine if people were like, "This is a Canadian," and then they're like, "This is a Canadian." You're like, "What is? I don't know. Like, what are Canadians?" You have a very different thing. I can't believe you like it.
all right, Melly. Since you love tailgate Mushu, and we have made our statement, can you kindly provide the sommelier stamp as to why you love Mushu so much?
Yes,
Is it
tell
because
us.
you would like to go to a theme party?
Melly would totally throw a theme party. Oh my god, she totally would. Oh my god, it would be the best theme party. I love Gwen's also in Aries. I'm telling you, Gwen, you and me, we are the same.
This is so fun though.
I know the Akara bobbin. It's so.
I don't even
pretty.
want I don't love theme parties, but I want to go to this party.
I know.
It's so fun.
Awesome.
Hey, you know what? I think that this would be a great fiber for someone who is spinning for the first time. Like,
I
okay,
don't
maybe
think
not
so.
maybe you've made your art yarn. You've made you've
already
past
gone
your
through
art yarn
short
phase.
forward or short. What is it? Short
Short
forward. The inchworm. See, my thing is, I don't know that I would inchworm this. I feel like that would be uncomfortable, and I think when you first start spinning, it's good to start with that. I think a softer yarn. This has more of a I feel like your fingers would hurt.
But I feel
time.
like this would be a great. I don't know. It just has this sort of resilience that I think you don't have to be precious with it, and I think that it will adapt to you. And
Absolutely.
that's why I sort of think that it would be a great after you're done your Corriedale and your
exactly
your I don't know standard 5. I think this would be
the great first woolen spun.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Yes,
because
okay,
it's very easy to do that. I think you wouldn't want to start with it because you want to. I started with the short forward and honestly feel like that was so good. Like my hands
I don't know how to short forward. I never did short forward. I just went to short back immediately, and I never smoothed.
Oh, see the smoothing. I love this one anyway. I love smoothing.
I'm so terrible at
our spinning wheels are. I know. I'm trying. Then I lose it.
Did you turtleneck? Mine turtlenecked very intensely.
It's funny because I had to look at yours earlier and it wasn't turtlenecking, and then it just suddenly took off. Our spinning wheels are the Lendrum DT, the double treadles. They're castable wheels, and we love them. But we did no research, and that's not because she wouldn't have done research. I did no research.
I did a bunch of research, made a decision, and then you came in like Mushu, and you're like, I'm throwing a party, and we're getting wheels, and I was like, okay.
And it was a totally different one.
Tossed my research out the window. And ended up with this wheel that I love. I love this.
So it all worked out. Look. Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't it a pretty color?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see this for a second.
It's really pretty. It has more of a will I say rustic feel? I feel like it's a bit more.
I get so absorbed in how the fiber feels in the spinning that I don't actually ever, when we do these things, I don't actually ever stop to feel the yarn to make an assessment on the relationship. Although this is not a love match. No. Definitely not.
Oh, and somebody had said something. Oh, yes, Mushu takes them to the carnival. Mushu runs the carnival for sure. Mushu is the carnival.
I think Mushu is the carnival. I don't think Mushu runs the carnival.
Yeah, he just is. They are.
They don't have the underbelly underbelly that is required in order to actually run a carnival.
Yeah. No. You got it. That's so much organization. You're right. Mushu. So Melly says Mushu is here for the moment. They pack the cooler because sharing is inevitable. That's true. Mushu would be a great friend to have. Just not maybe all wait. If it's me, I was about to say maybe not all the time. Maybe need a little break from it.
They enjoy the general vibe of the shared event, i.e. tailgating for any event. Easy to talk to, doesn't need anything fancy, like people in general. Accurate.
100%.
100%. I've moved on.
Sorry. I like Mushu very much.
Oh my god.
What?
So I didn't mix up all of my fibers, but I no longer know which bobbin is who.
I know, me neither. Oh no, I do. Okay, mine's in an order. So then you can always look at this.
Okay.
Only because
Okay.
as I put it down, that's the only reason there's any kind of order, but at least there's one. We are on our last one, folks. Last one.
Okay, who's our?
Oh, okay, Melly, it's Viola. So do we know, like, do we want to say?
Yeah, we need to give
Viola's
Viola's backstory
story?
because we're not coming in blank with Viola.
Oh, have you spun her yet?
No.
Okay, me neither. Okay, good. So I feel like Melly, if you are like, stop, don't tell the story, then stop us. But I'm going to start right now. So Viola was the Bachelorette for quite a while. She was
a contender.
She was
a contender.
Well, she was going to be the Bachelorette. I think
Yeah.
she really was going to be the Bachelorette. But then in the processing of Viola, she had just something about her that was a little bit like.
Molly was like, I don't know.
It wasn't quite. And then there was a washing situation. I thought maybe with the washing, but then even after the washing. So anyway, she didn't make it as the Bachelorette. Do you know in this actual show that does happen? Like people are like, or they're like down to it. Like they might be the Bachelorette or the Bachelor. And then sometimes they're not chosen. Like, can you imagine? And then you have to watch that whole show and be like, that could have been me up there. Although maybe like times they're crying, maybe they're happy not to. I don't know.
I've never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but in my head, I would never sign up to do that.
Never sign up to do it.
And I also feel
horrendous.
like even if on some sort of like crazy self-exploration day, I like decided to sign up and like made it through and they were like, you might be the Bachelorette. If I didn't get chosen and then I was like watching the show, I feel like the whole time would be like, thank the heavens that you didn't put me through.
I know. Horrible. It's a really dumb show. For anyone, like, there's probably a lot of international, like, probably The Bachelor and Bachelorette don't make. Oh no, I think they have like international.
You a guy back in California who nearly was a bachelor years ago and was quite relieved that he didn't get picked. I just think like this is gonna sound funny because we are live on YouTube right now, just streaming. But I feel like I don't want a camera in my face as I'm trying to like make a love connection. I can have a camera in my face as I try and evaluate somebody else's love connection.
Absolutely.
But if I'm trying to figure out like of the 55 contestants, who's my Ernie or like who's my awful, you know?
And you have to kiss them on screen. Like no.
But I do think that some of the bachelors and the bachelorettes like went and did some really amazing things with their life afterwards.
Oh, they totally did. And some of them really made it. It was like real love.
What breed is Viola?
Yes.
What are Cormo X? Cormo X. Have you spun Cormo before?
I have not.
Oh
so
my
Cormo
God,
is
Viola's
Corriedale and
backyard flock. Little backyard flock
little
in
one.
Pennsylvania, USA.
So I think,
Cormo X.
correct me if I'm wrong, Melly and Britt, but I think Cormo is Corriedale and Merino. Is that what it is?
I thought Cormo was its own thing.
It
I don't know
is, but I think that's how they created
how it happened. But Cormo X, it's like she's got some Cormo, but the X is like a unknown.
Yes.
Mystery.
Or it's a
Viola
cross.
is a mystery.
I thought that just meant Cormo cross.
Yeah, but
we don't know what she's crossed with, right?
You know how like sometimes
That's
it's like Brit and Sierra, it's like BFL Gotland cross, but you know like the full story.
Yes.
So we don't know her full story.
We don't.
I'm holding up the couple. We don't know Viola's first full story.
That's right. We know she's got something to her though. There's something that causes her to be a little bit different from the regular, which may be a good thing. Like what if maybe that's that? So
I think
Mr. Bond's a little different.
She had some texture.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Was it the texture? Yeah, it
was. The texture. It was that she was neppy. But not neppy. Not like what like between texture and a nep.
I can't come up with anything clever that's between and
no.
That wasn't very clever, but see, just laugh at myself. And this is why one of the reasons I love Jackie so much, because of your laugh. That laugh right there. And when she goes like, and she can't even like, it's like you can't even hear her laughing because she's just like laughing so hard. I just love it. I love it. I'm so lucky.
Let's
Okay.
see if we put Viola with Mr. Bond, if she's gonna make any.
Oh, I got it. Yay. Or, yep, you got it. One of the things we said was right. I hope it's my thing, but I don't know. She was adopted. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I like this. I like this adopted idea. Cormo X and Bond is it's so awesome. Applying it up right now and don't want it to end.
Ooh.
Okay. Nelly.
She was adopted. We don't know her story.
This is true.
She's got a little. Like, so do we think that her texture is like she's lived through some things
Yes.
and
Something's interesting.
like do you think that she's still like nursing the wounds of the things that she lived through, or do you think she's like lived through some things but
She's got it all together?
yeah.
No.
I
I think she doesn't have it all together, but that's part of not just her charm, but like of her magic. Like she's still in process and understands that, as we all are, because nobody's complete, right? We're always like growing.
I really like her.
I really like her too. I'm excited. This is a
All of
possibility.
all of the locks, this is the one that I like the most.
Yeah. It's very, and that's interesting. So I don't see any, hardly, I don't see a lot of.
It's so this is a word that I have co-opted from our friend Alex. Plumpy.
Ooh, I like it. Plumpy.
Plumpy.
Yes, floofy and plump.
Yeah.
I like it.
And there's like a little bounce in it. Boink,
This is pretty too.
boink,
It's a nice color.
boink.
It's interesting to remember like how dark he is, right? So like she's bringing a lot of light.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
We're at Mr. Bond in this.
That's interesting. Huh.
And you can eat it so you can see that, like the little bit of texture.
Yes.
What would be a good comparison?
Do you know-
like if you look at Mushu?
It won't be long.
Like there's a little bit of
Talk about a little bit of something not perfect. That's us. That's our podcast. But do you know how sometimes like a perfectly symmetrical face
Looks
is
weird.
great. Well, it's
no,
great.
it actually
People
looks
say,
weird. It looks wrong.
but a slightly like a tooth that's a little weird. You know, like to me, I love a snaggle tooth, or people who have like the little like vampire kind of teeth, or if they're like front teeth, or like my teeth are a little crooked, and I like it. Like it's like I like something that's just a little off, or like a piano that's not quite tuned. Sometimes when you're like listening to like that, because it's not quite tuned and perfect. I like it. It's interesting. I think that's Viola.
I feel like okay, despite my dream romance with Mr. Bond, in this couple, I'm more invested.
It's pizza. He's having a moment here.
Hi. I'm more invested in Viola's well-being than I am in Mr. Bond.
So is that because you're more worried about her? Like she needs something more than he needs?
I don't know.
You just like her more?
I just feel more connected to her.
What would she be to you? So he'd be your like lover, clearly. What would she be to you?
She would be a really good friend. And she'd be the kind of friend that I like am so excited to watch her blossom.
Right. Would she be younger than you? Like I feel like would you be an older like advisor
I
friend?
don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just like she's the friend who like I can see how amazing she is and she can't see how amazing she is, and I'm like waiting for the moment for her to see how amazing she is. And it's not like she's like a sad wilty person, right? She has worked through her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sense of self. She has self-confidence. She knows who she is, but there's still that little that's like the moments of like not fully owning herself, not fully owning her story, not fully owning like it. Yes. And so like I'm really invested because I'm like, I don't want her to get in the wrong relationship.
I agree.
Because I think that
somebody
the
could capitalize
wrong
on that.
relationship could really set her back.
Agreed. And they can, she would be vulnerable to some people, I think, with those little nips. And I really think, just thinking about even the neps, so Nellie kept processing this over and over again, and it wouldn't go out. And it makes me think that like, the idea is not for her to eventually not have her neps. It's to actually keep the neps, but realize that that's what makes her her.
Yes, like love her.
Like love the neps.
Maybe she has neps, but she's trying to like make them neps.
She feels them as like obstacles as opposed to just like that's what is meant to be. That's the texture in the road.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we're like this whole time I've been allied with Mr. Bond.
Yes,
here
he's been your number one. Like he's been the focus.
Yeah.
So if
like
she doesn't
doesn't have neps, if this doesn't have neps in it, I'm gonna be mad.
That might be a problem.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And also bringing back our bachelor analogy, then if this doesn't work out with them, then she's the next bachelorette because they often
think so?
Well, no, but like because they often pick them based on the
right.
audience's favorite that didn't get picked.
Right.
So she might be the one that you're like, oh my God, now let's find her love when it's like looking for what fits her perfectly. If it's not.
Ooh,
you like her?
I like it.
Let's see. Oh, let me see if anybody else. Okay.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so Corriedale and Merino bloodline. Interestingly, okay, Britt says, interestingly, the breeder basically weeded out the sheep that didn't produce the best wools. And then now, after many decades of breeding, you have the Cormo. Oh. And then knit group at my house. Ooh, what would be a Carmen and Jackie blend?
Oh, okay. God.
We're going to come back to that one. We got to think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that we would both. Interesting. We have to think. Yes, because she's done some work. The flaws are on the surface and ready to shift. Oh, I love that. It's GG. Plumpy is my new favorite word. Plumpy.
Plumpy
Nelly.
sounds also better in an Australian accent. I can't do it. But
that's true.
It sounds so good.
That
when Alex
true.
says it, I bet it would sound good if Mr. Bond said it too.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Sexy. And she's Tweety. Oh, yes. I'm listening and enjoying, but winding off mini skeins for dyeing. That's okay. Love it, Kelsey. In the yarn, they don't actually blend. They barber pull. Oh. Miss Gigi. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm enjoying the spin. Enjoying the spin. This is one where I'm really like, I feel like I feel like I'm going to have a part 1 assessment. And then I want to do like a second assessment after I've gotten to know Viola.
So I'll just say this is the first one I had to change my tension.
Just adjusted.
I didn't need to adjust any other ones, and this one I did. So now I have to think about. I had to tighten it. I had to have more tension. What does that say, Jack? I wonder.
I mean, okay, so it's a really pleasant spin.
It's beautiful.
I've had little bits. So I'm happy about it. It is like the kind of, you know, like how tweed has nice texture. Like I like the texture, but totally agree that I feel like they are totally barber pulling.
Once we were applying them together, kind of thing. Like
right now.
Oh, even there. Actually, you're right. I do see
I feel like they're really quite separate. I don't know in terms of like they're really different staple lengths.
Let's see if you can see the. Can you see kind of the barber pulling in here?
Have you spun Cormo before?
No, I don't think so.
Like it's hard for me to know who's showing up here.
Yes. Well, it doesn't feel like bond. I was thinking as soon as I started spinning it, I don't know that I feel the way bond feels. Like it's not like the whole idea of the long wool is gone.
Yeah.
So bond has the other side of him. So the long wool side of bond is gone, whatever that means.
It's a really, really pleasant spin. But I'm struggling to feel Bond, Mr. Bond.
You kind of see.
I think it's what I think I'm feeling is mostly Viola.
I see Viola. I feel like she's come into her own here.
Yeah,
I like it.
So what's the relationship?
I think Viola is. I think it's really cool that she was almost the Bachelorette, and maybe she should have been on it. Well, not should have been, but on a different episode, because she's not going to end up with Mr. B, Mr. Bond. Mr.
You're
Bond.
still thinking about it.
I still am. Never off my mind. Yeah, like she does. Mr. Bond's not her, not the one that she doesn't need. I don't know if she needs. I don't know if she needs anyone. She's really in one of these, like, I think she's in a time of her life right now where actually being in a relationship would hold her back. I think she's in a self-exploration space, and she's coming out of kind of like giving to a lot of people. And so if she was in a relationship, it would be hard for her to focus on herself.
Yeah, I also, because this is the last one, I've been really surprised at how quickly Mr. Bond loses himself in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
maybe that's why he stays alone.
Spinning him on his own, he has such a distinct personality, but in these, on some of these dates,
you're right.
Like there's no Mr. Bond and all Mushu, and here I feel like I don't really feel him. I feel more Viola.
Yes. Like there's no cowboy here.
Yeah.
Cowboy's gone. Do you know
I
who's
don't
here?
feel the slickness. Who's here?
Alanis Morissette. Viola is Alanis Morissette. Like totally
the early
fine.
years?
Well, kind of throughout. I mean, I don't really know what she's up to nowadays, but like, really exploring herself in like the her partner factors.
The early years, I feel like Jagged Little Pill.
Well, that was so angry. Like, I think a few albums later, like after she goes to India, and like when she's really in that full out.
Thank you, India.
Yes. Like exploration.
Yeah.
Like she spent a lot of time exploring herself, and she went through a lot of like heartbreak.
Ooh, interesting.
And she doesn't need, like, I mean, I don't know her story right now if she's married, but if she is, it's not because she has to be. Like, she's really
now.
Yeah, I think she is.
So I reached the part of the bat now where I feel like there was just a moment where it was all Mr. Bond. And Viola went away, and then now I'm back to like more Viola. So like really, I feel like they're not blending.
They're not blending. No.
They're really not blending.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten to this place now where, like Mr. Bond is being taken up, and I have to like invite Viola to kind of come back into the mix. They're like oil and water.
Okay, so when you're in a Mr. Bond section, let me know because I want to know.
See, look here.
What that looks like.
Here.
That's Bond.
Right?
Oh,
and I have to
like, and there she is.
Like I have to like bring her along.
Oh, right, because she gets stuck in the back.
Yeah,
because of the neps. Yep.
It's like oil and water. Mr. Bond's like, I want to just like do my own thing
because he's so smooth.
He's so smooth, and she's just like, all right, well, I'll just like hang back here.
Yeah.
And like, let you go.
But then her like all of her work that says I'm going to stand up for myself. Then she comes rolling back and she's ready. Okay, well, I mean,
delightful spin. Really excited to apply this up. I think that this is something that I would love to knit with.
This would be a nice
because
hat.
It feels really nice. But
yes.
Some like I think Viola might be, maybe she's one of those fleeces that's better solo than in a relationship. And I'm still not unconvinced that Mr. Bond isn't best solo.
I think I'm coming along with you there. I think he is perfect, has been, and if he continued to be solo, he's been great and would continue to be great.
I love her.
But I do like with the Merino. I like the Merino.
Oh, that's right.
I feel like that really filled him out a little bit.
It
adding something. Well, it was like a pivot in his life. So that would have been fine. Or he could have stayed with Ernie too and had that kind of like along the same lines track. I think thinking about it, do I think that he's better off with Ernie than on his own? I don't know. Because I don't think either would be bad. Both of them would be fine.
Yeah.
I think he's better. He's in a different space with Mix Merino.
Mix Merino, they're a great couple.
Yeah.
Like that's a couple that you love. And I don't think that he lost anything in that relationship.
Yes.
Here's the thing. And I think, forevermore, I will have a soft spot for Bonds just because of my date that I had with Mr. Bond.
I don't think you see the difference in color there.
I don't know. Like, I think that a Bond there was something really special about a Bond fleece. Like Mr. Bond is unlike anything else that I've spun before. Right? So like if I'm spinning this, it is reminiscent of something. It's really lovely, but it's reminiscent of something. Whereas I feel like for me, the experience that I had spinning Mr. Bond solo, I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And so there's that like unique quality.
Fair.
And it's kind of like, should we let lone wolves be lone wolves?
Well,
you know?
Absolutely. If they want to stay lone wolves, they are perfectly fine.
And I wonder if Viola is also, you know, like, I'm glad that she didn't get chosen as the Bachelorette, because I also wonder whether she too, at this point in her life, is better solo.
I think
and
she
so
is.
In a way, this battling is like, we could be together, we could get along, and sometimes you grow in relationship, but sometimes you grow just in like being on your own and owning who you are and like doubling and tripling down on like all of you.
You're right. Because I think they both, you're right, within this spin, they are separate. Like you can see, there are places, I was trying to show it there, because you can even see the differences in color, like between them. And they are staying themselves, sort of. They're staying apart. They're not mixing. They're not amplifying, I don't think. Yeah. They're sort of like going along together.
I think they could be friends, though. I think they could be friends if they decided, like.
I think they're in the same support group. Or like a yoga group, you know?
Look at it.
Meditation.
It's so beautiful.
It is really pretty.
It's so pretty. You can see it's really Barbara Boy.
Oh, boy. Okay, did anybody have ideas?
Oh, I suspect the height difference in the staple lengths might be a factor, right? In terms of them, because it like the twist runs along the long staple length, and the short staple length kind of gets left behind.
That makes sense.
Interdependent relationship. Maybe looking to Mr. Bond less in a romantic sense and more mentorship. Ooh, interesting.
Mr. Bond would be the mentor?
Yeah. That could work, actually. If you think about her story.
Yes, he would be showing her it's okay to be
what it's like. It's okay to like be yourself.
Yeah, like
and
you
to
don't
just,
need
like,
another person.
You don't need a relationship. You don't need to like, chase some ideal that you think is like, I'll be awesome when I.
Yes.
Right?
Or sure, this is good enough kind of thing. Like, He's discerning. I like that.
I think they could end up really good friends.
Okay. I think they could be very good friends.
Very good friends.
Yeah.
And I don't think the kind of friendship where Mr. Bond is always the mentor. I think they could kind of like go back and forth. And as Viola like comes more into herself, she's gonna start to offer him things as well.
I think so too.
And like he might call her up and be like, hey, this is the situation, and like be the sounding board.
Because I would say I feel his personality is to be more of a lone wolf, just as his personality. I think her personality is not necessarily that she's a lone wolf, but that she actually comes from a place where maybe it's the adopted piece, but like she comes from a place where she doesn't know herself, and because of that, she's vulnerable to giving too much to others. And so when people have been in her life, they've taken her away from her own growth. But once she has that, and she can once she understands herself, then there's space for another person.
Right.
I think she would like another person as long as they're not going to be taking from her. Are you freezing? Sorry, my feet are freezing. So if you haven't seen us, we have very different temperature. Like I am always super, super hot, and poor Jackie is cold. So she brings sweaters to my house because I'm like, I'm going to crank the AC today.
All right.
Okay.
So we're at the end of our spin, and it's, oh my gosh, have you guys been with us for 2 hours and 8 minutes?
Oh, read my email. Yes. Okay, hold on. Wait, before we read it, did you check this to make sure we haven't like missed anybody's? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. If you take out the references to wool, this is a really dirty hangout. I love it. Oh, Jacqueline loved Viola, second to Ernie. Amazing.
Ooh.
Robin, maybe looking to Mr. Bond less in a romantic sense and maybe more mentorship. Yes. Melly, interdependent relationship. Nellie says, long life friends, true love, deep bond. Aww. Aww. Laura Ellis.
It is. They could love each other.
Yeah. I think they do love each other. Maybe not as like romantic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because it is a beautiful spin. In as much as like in their separateness, and they're staying separate, it actually makes it a gorgeous spin.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Oh, look at
Yeah.
oh, look how funny that. Okay, I'm just going to show this because we need to analyze everything.
So who wants the final verdict?
But wait, one
From
second.
the Melly herself.
Look at this. Is this the funniest, like, topsy-turvy thing? It
get
must have been
caught
from my
by your
leader.
leader?
But I just want to say that this is another example of, like, how just off, right? And being off is cool. They're just both off.
I mean, that
Off
is way
is
more
good.
gorgeous than this little turtleneck. Okay. So
Okay,
I have the
Melly.
verdict. I have this email from Melly.
Melly, just my pick, not a verdict.
Not a verdict.
She's
Just my
not
pick.
the judge.
Okay,
She's not the judge.
okay.
We get it.
Her pairing is Viola. Her favorite pairing, she writes Viola. This pairing is literally the characters of Pretty Woman as wool.
That is fascinating based on Pretty Woman, because I think he was an instrument for her, but I don't know if she needs him. I think Vivian was about to, like, go on her journey. So, like, did she need Richard Gere's? I don't even remember his name, but
Yeah, I don't remember. I was like,
what's his name?
I'm impressed that you remember Vivian. I don't know.
Oh, I remember Vivian because I was like, Vivian, what a gorgeous name. I love that name.
Oh my gosh, Melly's so bright though.
Yeah.
Because it's like Mr. Bond just like accelerates
Yes.
her owning
Growth.
and being who she is. And also like the neps look so good.
They do look so good. Yes.
Yes.
I like it.
But Melly, do you also ship Viola more than Mr. Bond?
Wait, what was that question I was reading?
Do you ship Viola more than Mr. Bond?
Ship.
Like, are you allied with Viola more than Mr. Bond?
Oh.
Or because I'm like, yes, the Pretty Woman situation, you and I both went like Mr. Bond elevates Viola.
Yes. Yes.
But what happens to Mr. Bond?
yes.
Like, how is Mr. Bond enhanced
by
Viola?
because I feel like Viola, yeah, we don't know if Viola's, well, she's, you know what, she's a wild card. Just like, that's a great analogy, Melly, because we don't know if they end up together. Like Vivian in Pretty Woman may
Spoiler.
still be, yeah, sorry, if you haven't in the last 25 years watched this, I'm sorry I've spoiled it. But whatever time it was. But like, we don't know if they're going to end up together. Like she comes down the fire escape and they're together with this, but she's going off to school.
Yeah.
She's leaving the lifestyle and she's like going off and she's doing her thing. So we don't know if they're going to end up together, and maybe they do, but he was instrumental in helping her remember herself.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do anything to tell her. It's just that he provides her
But
ability.
she grounds him, actually.
She does.
She grounds him.
She does.
So Viola does ground Mr. Bond. She does.
See, Mr. Bond was already so grounded in my mind.
She like, I think in some way she offers him a different kind of grounded stability. Like in the blend. Is this it? Is this them?
Well, we know my one. It's the crazer. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, like, you know that like soft suppleness that we were
Mhm.
talking about? I feel like she actually does.
She definitely
She
has
does that like, you
thing
know,
that
that
I
little
was saying he
extra.
could
You were like,
use.
it's not a
It fills
downgrade,
him
but
up.
like, yeah.
Yes, I do think that is the case.
Okay. Okay. I think this is like the final
She
rose.
brings him into a real space, fills him in. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I think too. I agree.
I think the final rose, all of the time actually, the final rose can't be given until it's been plied,
100%.
finished,
Finished and knit. I think you're right. I'm just in love with this. Laura Alice Watt says, there's something fabulous about couples who stand side by side, both facing forward but holding hands, staying separate yet together.
That's so beautiful.
Didn't you, I just have chills. That's so beautiful. Oh, Nelly, you described him initially as calm, collected, and aloof. She makes him take his shoes off in the park and get off his cell phone.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like
Fair.
with Laura's comment, this just like shot to the top for me.
That is beautiful because we were saying the same thing, but not seeing the beauty of that.
Yeah.
Like we're saying they're walking side by side and that might not be good, but what if that is good?
Yeah. I think I'm not sure that I felt the romance, but I think they're a slow burn.
Yes. And maybe they don't need could they have a beautiful life together? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and if we talk about actually when somebody had brought up the open relationship idea, right? Mm-hmm. This is a couple that could do that.
Yeah.
Because they would be so secure in their relationship that they could add others as things popped in, but they are together. They are doing life together.
Yeah. I could share Mr. Bond with Viola.
Well, you don't. Yeah, you just have to pop in when you want. I mean, Jackie, you're married.
Perfect. I already have a partner who is nothing like Mr. Bond. In fact, I love him, but he's nothing like Mr. Bond.
He's got a swagger, I think. Your partner. Just calling me Laura is. Oh, sorry. Perfect. So Laura. I loved it.
Okay. So for those of you who are still here, thank you for hanging out. I hope that you were entertained. We hope that you maybe found a match in the comments of somebody who totally agrees with you or who said something that you're like, ooh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. We're going to give some stuff away.
Yes.
Let's give some stuff away.
So let's describe the one for the long-term one, and then we'll do the people who are here.
Okay.
Do the people who are here. That makes more sense.
So the best way that
Jackie's
we could
idea.
think about doing this, apparently there are still 26 of you hanging out with us, which is incredible.
You guys are amazing.
So what we're going to do is we are going to, what's the number? We're going to use a random number generator. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick a random number between 1 and 50. And if you're here, you're going to choose your number. And the person who is closest to the number that comes up on the random number generator will be the winner.
So over, under, what if the number is 35 and we have a 36 and a 34?
Then the 36 and the 34 are going to pick
another one.
Okay,
so we're going to go from that.
Oh God, I can't look. I'm not picking. It's a random number generator. Okay.
Oh, people are putting it in.
Put your numbers in.
Put them in. We're going to give you some time. Put them all in. We'll make sure everybody has enough time to put their number in. We're not going to analyze your personalities based on the number you pick, except yes, I am.
Do you want to know what it is? What are we giving away?
Yes. No, we're giving this one, I think. Oh, no.
Okay, but they get to pick. Winner gets to pick. Let's do that. Does that make sense?
That's great.
Okay.
Pick
so
what?
We have two packages.
Oh, okay, great. Yes,
we have a package that is 200 grams total of 2 different colorways of this gorgeous fiber from Cormo X, which comes from our very extensive stash. I just want to bring this up close to the camera so that you can see. Like, you think it's just gray, but it's not. It's gray. It has these pops of green. It has these pops of purple. For me, this was the first fiber I ever spun, and it was so much fun and so wonderful. So there is 100 grams of this, and then 100 grams of this gorgeous blue. It's blue, it's gray, it's rust, it's orange. It's indescribable in terms of the color. So we have this mixed if you wanted to have 2 different colors, or you could go all in on color, say that same blue rust color,
and get 200. So it's 200. It's actually it's 220 probably. It's a lot. It goes a long way, as we have found out. Okay, so your numbers are in there, and we are going to. Can I show? Oh wait, what if there's 2 people with the same?
Okay, so
press.
I did.
Oh, you did.
The 6 is from before, so we're gonna generate.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Go. 22. We have a 22.
Oh my gosh,
Lynn.
Make sure there's not 2
22s. Did anybody have a 22?
Okay,
Lynn.
Congratulations.
So Lynn DM either myself or Carmen with your details, and also let us know, do you want 200 of one color or 100 of 2 different colors for you to play with?
Jacqueline missed it.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, but there's another
possibility.
Yes.
So we realize that not everybody could join us live because people have lives. So we're gonna post this it's gonna get posted. So you have one more chance to win fiber. You're gonna win whatever it is that Lynn doesn't pick. And in order for you to enter, you just need to leave a comment on the episode recording.
But it wasn't, so this one wasn't just fiber, right? So because we thought that some people who are watching may not be spinners, right? Actually, many of you have said not spinners yet. So we're thinking another option, if you didn't want the fiber, would be to have some hand spun yarn that we've done.
Yeah.
We've done doing many spins. You can even like tell us if you have sort of some kind of color or preference or something.
So if you want to enter to win either the 200 grams of fiber
yes,
or a skein of hand spun yarn, just leave a comment below, and in your comment, please let us know what your preference is, so that we know what it is to give you. So we will pick or we will announce the giveaway winner from the comments on our next podcast episode.
Perfect.
Which is
the 24th.
The 24th. It's like
July
2 weeks
24th.
from now. Yes, July 24th.
Week and a half.
So depending on when you're watching this, the giveaway will close 5 minutes before that episode. We hit record on that episode.
That's right.
So let's say probably
Okay. Yeah.
July 23rd at 11:59 is when the giveaway closes.
Don't be late. Serious. No, whatever. Yeah. But also we're not taking, just to be clear, because there have been so many comments and everything, the comments that we're literally going to go through and just like mark down, we're going to be counting the comments that say yarn or fiber, right? Like not just anybody's comments this whole time.
No,
it's after, right? Because they're
from
other
the comments made on the episode. Like after the episode goes up, you can make a comment on the episode.
Yes.
So you're going to make a comment
there,
right, and then we're going to use that random generator. We're not going to use the chat to choose people. We have a chat winner, and then we'll have another winner for the comments. Because we just want to share our stash with you. And also, this is our month of giveaways because this is our 1-year podiversary month. So we started this thing on July 3rd. So we're going to have 2 episodes in July, this one, plus our regularly scheduled or our regular Knitty episode. And we're going to be giving things away. And there's a Cal that we're going to announce because we just want to celebrate.
Yes.
How full and rich our lives have been since we put ourselves out there and since you guys received us so wonderfully. I have laughed so much. I have learned so much, and I have grown so much in my crafting.
100%.
Because of you guys. So thank you for being here. Keep spinning, keep knitting, keep making, and we'll be back to see you soon.
Yes. Thank you so much for staying so long. And somehow we ended up with more people right now than we even did. So I don't even know.
We love you.
Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being you. And we'll talk to you guys in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Bye. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Yes.